This is gonna be an interesting episode, gang.
Weird energy. How are we feeling about this case?
Don't even get me started. I mean, I'm gonna have to get started at some point, but I feel like I'm still processing. Like I'm recovering from some sort of deep-laden trauma that I experienced through the process of playing this case.
Yeah, I remember that feeling from the first time I played it.
And I could be a lot fairer to this case, but I don't want to be.
Well, that's fine, because I feel great about this case.
Okay. Good.
This case is the one.
This case stinks.
I'm having a really fun time. I'm in a rare spot where I actually played it a day earlier, so I've had time to sleep on it and come back.
I genuinely, Adam, I was in bed last night at 2:30 in the morning. And I couldn't sleep because I could not stop thinking about this case. Not
I'm
in a
sleeping
good
like
way.
a baby. I changed my sheets before I went to bed, so it was just like perfect sleeping conditions. And then, well, I did wake up at like 6 a.m., which is not normal for me, so it doesn't always pay off.
Doesn't always pay off. I'm so glad I didn't have to play any of this case this morning.
We learn a lot about the power of the Nintendo DS in this case.
We learn a dangerous amount of the power of the Nintendo DS, I feel like. I feel like the Nintendo DS was weaponized against me in this case.
The 2000s are coming for you.
The 2000s came for me, Jay, and I barely made it out alive.
Shall I read a summary of this case?
Please.
If you must.
I must. I am legally obliged. Phoenix is moping in his office when Emma Skye appears looking for Mia to help her defend her sister Lana, who's accused of murder. Phoenix, bizarrely obsessed with the parallels to the Faye sisters, takes on the case despite Lana insisting that she's guilty. We find out that a cop, Detective Goodman, was stabbed in the trunk of Edgeworth's car and meet a strange cowboy and a prosecutor-hating lunch saleswoman. After speaking to Edgeworth...
Correct.
Thank you. I do my best. After speaking to Edgeworth and Gumshoe... After speaking to Edgeworth and Gumshoe, we get to investigate the scene properly and chat more with the cowboy, who's a patrol officer called Jake Marshall. Marshall implies that Edgeworth has been fixing trials with Lana's help, and there's a lot of tension around the cops and the prosecutor's office regarding false evidence. At trial, we find out that lunch lady Angel Starr used to be a cop but was fired. She testifies about seeing Lana commit the murder and shows us a picture of her bloodstained in front of Edgeworth's car. At first, Angel says that she saw the murder from the car park and immediately arrested Lana, but then we discover she was in the security guard's booth and took 5 minutes to get to the scene, prompting the question of why Lana didn't escape. Angel brings up new evidence, the victim's shoe, which had both his and Lana's blood on it. Edgeworth asks why he never saw this, and Angel says it's because she doesn't trust him. After being insulted by Emma, saying she's on the prosecution's side, she presents another photo that has suspicious cloth in the tailpipe of Edgeworth's car, delaying the final verdict of the trial. After the recess, Edgeworth is having a terrible time. Damon Gant, chief of police, appears on the witness stand. He brings a scarf that was in the exhaust along with a knife tagged with the case number SL9. Edgeworth chews him out for not investigating properly in the first place, but Gant tells him it's his fault since he's on the paperwork. Then he reveals that there was a second stabbing of a different detective at the exact same time, this one in the police department. After some coercing, we find out that it might have been the same guy who was killed in 2 places at once, so we get more time to investigate. Angel Starr tells us about the SL9 case where someone was executed based on fabricated evidence, and tells us that afterwards she and Marshall were fired and demoted respectively. It turns out that Mike Meekins, a sad cop, was arrested for the other murder of Detective Goodman. Meekins says that Goodman pointed a knife at him and then passed out and Goodman was gone. And then he passed out and Goodman was gone. Wow, I forgot how to read! After a long investigation, we mostly learned that Marshall's bloodstained fingerprints are in the evidence room. At the trial, Edgeworth puts Meekins on the stand and we see a video of the crime, which is very unclear and mostly shows the Blue Badger dancing. During a recess, Emma realizes that the SL9 is something she calls the Joe Dart killings and runs out of the court in distress. It eventually transpires that it wasn't Goodman in the evidence room, but Marshall. He says he went in there because he wanted to stop the SL9 evidence from being shelved for good, as his brother was killed in the incident, but he doesn't believe the official story. Given all of this, Edgeworth points out that no murder really happened in the police department, so we're back to square one with Lana. But Emma bursts in and asks for them to take another look at the blood at the crime scene. Phoenix points out that the bloody handprint on one of the lockers went to the spot blocked by the Blue Badger, so it must have been made earlier, and as everyone is discussing ID records that show who might have been in there at the time, Marshall asks Lana point blank if she forged evidence during SL9, and she says yes, causing so much chaos that the court has to adjourn for the day. Which is where we cut, and we are going to have one more investigation and one more court day after this.
Thank you for that, Jay. now that I've had some time
Great
to think
summary.
about it, I've decided to be chill and relaxed about everything.
You don't have to do that. In fact, I would encourage you
That's
not to do
disappointing.
that.
I'm gonna do my best. There's like a scale, like what happened. You know when you die and go to hell, and Anubis weighs your soul against a feather to like tabulate how many sins you did. I feel like there is a war happening on two scales of sinfulness and righteousness in my soul right now.
Huh.
Okay.
Say more about
With
this.
the religious turn of the day.
It is a Sunday.
Say more about this. Say more about this. What is that to say? I feel like I have been wronged in some way. Like, this is... You know, like, we've been doing this for a while now. Like, this has become routine for us by now. I think this was the first time that I was doing this, and it set in... Oh my fucking god, this is, like, eating away at my life a little bit.
Welcome to the club.
Uh,
Welcome to Ace Attorney.
I can't tell all at the same time. We're gonna have to go through this step by step and break everything down. The process of which will also most likely cause me to break down. But in doing so, the whole thing will be so much more easy to pass. Because otherwise, if I were to say everything I had on my mind at once, it would probably just be one continued agonizing scream for about 45 seconds. Now, that being said, I don't think this is the worst thing ever. I think I was just in like the completely wrong headspace for dealing with it at the time. Like, I can't lie. During the latter half of this case, I was so fucking tired. Not just because of the case itself, but also, like, in real life, I was just physically exhausted. And there was a part of me that was like, okay, I just need to stop and get back at this with a fresh head some other day. But, Adam, you know me. You know how I play, like, Dark Souls and things like that. I'm a human being who is incapable of stopping when I hit a brick wall. And I did end up playing the entire thing in one sitting, which took me, how long was it? How long did it take me to do?
Jesus.
8.7 hours.
8.7 hours. And Steam does not lie. Like, I took breaks, and I turned off the game when I took those breaks. So Steam is giving a pretty accurate recollection of the amount of time I spent in roughly one sitting, aside from a pretty grody nap that I took halfway through, as to how my experience went with this. So I'm looking forward to getting down and dirty in the mud with everything that happened during this place. Your time on case number 5, Rise from the Ashes, was 5.6 hours.
And that was pretty leisurely. Like, I spent some time, like, doom scrolling during that. Like, maybe going to get lunch or something.
Video of this case is almost exactly 4 hours to the point where we stopped. So that's how fast it could be.
I am going to throw up. If I have to think more about how much time I put into this and what I got out of it, like, there is going to be a knot in my stomach that is never going to untie itself.
Oh god.
Okay, shall we get...
I thought I was just going to have a bad time in this case. I wasn't in a great mood either when I started. And I was nailed to the cross after giving a not perfect review of episode of Case 4 due to not being in a great mood. But I had fun with this one.
Now I just feel like you're being a contrarian. Okay, do you guys want to go through this beat by beat and run it down?
Yeah.
Starting at the beginning. Starting where all good stories start, with an introductory cutscene, which is, like, already from the jump significantly more production-wise than all of the cutscenes of the other cases.
It's got a train in it.
It's got a train in it, I think, which is weird, because the train hasn't been relevant yet.
Well, that's not true.
Is it not?
Maya left on a train.
Oh. I mean, not relevant in this case, then, I guess.
It's relevant because Phoenix seems to be obsessed with this still.
It's very funny. But remind me, how long was it between the release of the original game and the release of this case?
This case came out after the rest of the trilogy was done. I don't know how long in years, but, like, this case has references, like, Easter eggs to things that are in the latter two games.
Okay. Inexcusable.
Say more.
I will, but we'll get to it. But yeah, I really like this cutscene. It did a good job at setting a tone. It almost felt like a really itty-bitty, bite-sized James Bond-style noir thriller movie introduction, just because of how much more dynamic it was. There's that really nice shot of the shadowy figure going in for the stabbing, and then it splits into two so that you can see that two killings are happening at the same time, which is sort of like the big through line for the first half of this case, even though it turns out that it's bullshit. And then after all that, it's business as usual. You're back in the office with Phoenix, who is very, very sad for 2 months, who sunk into a deep depression for 2 months because all of his cool teen friends didn't want to hang out with this pathetic 24-year-old man anymore.
His only other alternative is Larry, so, you know.
And you know what they say about Larry is that he stinks.
He is the harbinger of all disaster, yeah.
Literally.
That's what they say.
None of this... we wouldn't have been a lawyer if that guy hadn't stolen our lunch money. Maybe.
True. We should be thanking him, really.
I don't want to.
Oh. That's a shame.
Yeah.
It's okay though, because new weird teen is here.
Yeah, it's not anyone we've seen before. It's Emma.
It's not Maya.
No.
It does look like her, and the only reason for this, as far as we know, is that Phoenix to be like, wow, I guess this person reminds me of somebody I care about, so I'm gonna be nice to them.
Wow, I guess this is my analog coping mechanism person. How do we
Such
feel
a
about
normal man.
Emma's design?
So fucking good.
Really good. Really, really good
Really
design.
good.
Really like her design.
It's extremely, extremely excellent, actually.
Yeah. She's wearing like a really classy schoolgirl fit with a blazer, and then on top of that blazer, she's wearing a lab coat with these really weird buttons that look like the viruses from Dr. Mario. And she's got like a big Sailor Moon ribbon and some really cool white-rimmed red lens glasses, Final Pam style. It's just a dang good look. I'm gonna be honest, like, the character design in this one is really, really good, except for one guy.
I wonder who that could be.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, I find her design immediately charming, and she is literally just Maya, but a big fucking geek.
Yeah, it's just science Maya.
Yeah,
So
literally.
good. Perfect.
How do you guys feel about the archetype of a nerdy science character who constantly deduces things in percentage values off the top of their head?
Best
Right.
character archetype of all time.
I
Yeah,
find
so
that
true.
shit so unbelievably irritating. It's like, oh, by my calculations, there's a 37.5% chance you could have done blah, 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 blah. It's like, you're literally pulling that statistic out of thin air.
No, she's doing the calculations.
She's not. She's doing mental gymnastics to come up with an approximation of saying 1/3, but trying to make herself sound smarter than she is.
What I really enjoy is how she almost always gets everything wrong, and I'm here for that. As someone who just can't think, it's like, yeah,
This is
you know
the
what,
thing,
there's
right?
a grace.
It's that she's like acting because she's 15 years old.
I can forgive her for this because it feels like she's playing up a part. And I feel like that's the case with a lot of the characters in this episode, is that they're all like, they have a role and then they have an aesthetic. And that aesthetic is more important than their role. Like, the people in this episode will ride or die for their aesthetic. Like, if you took off Patrolman Marshall's hat, he would disintegrate into dust.
Bro, I think this might be commentary on the rest of the Ace Attorney game that came before it.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Like the way these characters are presented to us feels so much more like what I'm expecting future Ace Attorney games to be.
Right, but I genuinely think there is something thematic here which was worked out between the other 4 cases and when this case came out, which is like, what are we saying about the people who exist in this system and how they stick to their role very determinedly?
But by their role, it's more like it's like they have a role that they need to fulfill, but that role is sort of like, there's an addendum to that role, which is their vibe.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you look at that and then you're like, huh, what has Edgeworth been doing this whole time?
He's just a normal, like, it's so weird to think Edgeworth is the most normal person you interact with in this episode.
I strongly disagree with that.
I'm trying to think of who else. Like, Lena is normal, I think.
I think Gumshoe's pretty normal.
I don't think Gumshoe's normal. There's some shit that Gumshoe did later on. Okay, but so Emma burges into our office. She charges into our office looking for representation, but she's looking not for Phoenix. She's looking for Mia, which I think is really weird. Because, like, Mia's famous, right?
Well, the reason she's looking for Mia is that she knows that Lana knew Mia, but Lana did not ask for Mia because Lana doesn't want legal representation. So she's looking for somebody she's vaguely heard of from her sister. Which is why then Phoenix is like, I'm not Mia, and also Mia is dead.
Well, actually, what does he actually say? It's like Mia has left the
doesn't
country
work here
or
anymore,
something.
Yeah. And then Phoenix is like, you kind of remind me of somebody, so this is the first case in 2 months that I'm going to take. Which is like, we know that Phoenix is skint, and the point that was it me and Adam both made is like, how much did Edgeworth pay this man?
Yeah, it's really...
I don't think Edgeworth has like a good grip on what money is worth.
Literally.
It's one legal representation. What could it cost?
So, relating to that, there's a bit where you finally tell Emma that Mia doesn't work here anymore. She's like, oh, are you like the coffee boy? Which, and my first reaction to that was, it's fucking hilarious that she thinks lawyers would have, like, butlers and shit. And then later on this episode, you go to Edgeworth's place and he has a coffee boy.
It's true.
This is just like the prosecutor thing, though, right? Because Emma's probably more familiar with like weird prosecutor stuff than anything to do with defense attorneys. So
yeah, that's a very good point.
I think this is just like prosecutors is like the social elite is literally the entire game. So
you don't think Grossberg has like someone to bring him coffee?
I think Grossberg has underlings. I don't think he has runners.
Yeah, he has interns.
Yeah.
To be fair to Grossberg, he very specifically talked about Robert Hammond and was like, he doesn't do it for the right reasons. So I think he does, like, have a moral code about, like, not stealing everyone's money while he's defending from them, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, considering the remit of all of the lawyers that we've met so far, Grossberg is not that bad.
Grossberg is not that bad.
He's
awful,
a defender,
but
right?
not that bad.
Yeah, but like I just mean in terms of all of the defense attorneys we've met and all of the prosecuting attorneys that we've met, Grossberg does nowhere near rank among like the bottom of the barrel nastiest type guys.
Except for that one time.
Except for that one time, which he was very, very sorry about.
He was very sorry about it.
He was really upset about that.
Especially when he didn't help Maya when she was going to be, convicted for murder. He was really sorry then. So we take a case.
For the first time in 2 months, we take a case.
2 months.
Phoenix went into the office every day for 2 months. For no reason. Because he didn't want to work.
People.
Yeah. So this was the first time in 2 months where someone was like, please, I'm in trouble, I need legal representation. And Phoenix wasn't just like, no.
I'm brutal.
Bye. I'm in a bad spot right now.
I don't have my teenager to help me, so...
I don't have my wacky, zany sidekick to help
Sorry.
ground me.
Guess you gotta die. Sounds about that.
Yeah. So this is the part where you start getting to show Emma all the shit in your pockets, which at this point in the case is just your attorney badge. You show it to her, and she's like, oh, this is like a 40% silver alloy with gold plating that's currently flaking off. And I was like, you couldn't tell that just by looking at it. And she's like, oh, it's in really good condition. And I was like... You just said the gold was plating off and that it's not rusted at all. Like, how is this thing made of gold and silver with the gold flaking off and it hasn't been like oxidized at all? But Phoenix does explain that he polishes it every day.
There's something that I wanted to say in, I think, maybe the second case, which is, I think it's if you show Grossberg your badge, he's like, it's too shiny. And that is like a real thing based on, because the badges are real. The badges are things that Japanese defense lawyers wear. And because it's gold plate with silver underneath, like, new ones are really shiny and gold, and old ones are, like, tarnished silver. And so, like, having a shiny gold badge makes you look like an idiot.
I love that. That's great.
And there was an allusion to that in one of the earlier cases that I meant to bring up and then I forgot.
Also, Emma offers you $50 for it. She's like, your badge is kind of, like, fucking, like, whatever. Also, I will give you $50 for it. And I'm like... A, how have you got this money? And B, like, what?
She got it from
Why?
alchemy or something. She's a scientist.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She asked Gant for it.
Right? She so did. He'll lend anyone $50.
He'll lend
Even
anyone
Gumshoe.
$50. I love Gant. I can't wait till we get to talk about Gant. What a guy. What a character. Holy
what
shit.
a guy. He's so Gant.
There's so much to talk about with Gant. I can't wait till we get to talk about Gant, but we've got a lot to get through first.
Yeah, we're still in the office.
Yeah, we're still in the office. Does anyone have anything to mention about the first interaction with Emma before we go meet her?
I want to talk about Phoenix like hallucinating this image of Maya over her when she looks sad.
He does that a lot this case.
He is not normal.
No, he's very unwell.
And it's like, because it's the weird like upscaled image in the Steam version, it looks really bad.
There's some art in this case that looks very, very strange. There's also one point in conversation where she mentions, so like her whole thing is that she's a 11th grader in high school or whatever. Would that be high school? I don't know anything about the American educational system. She's an 11th grader who wants to be a scientific investigator, like a forensic scientist. And Phoenix says that's a very unusual thing for an 11th grader to want to be. I was just like, you're the guy who became a defense attorney purely so that you could hunt down your boy crush. You have no right.
Did he want to do that at
16
16 though?
He wanted to do that when he was like 8.
No, he didn't want to do it after like Edgeworth turned up on the scene. No, it was when
Edgeworth left. Like when he left the school that they were in.
He specifically says that he saw a newspaper article of him being called the demon prosecutor, and that's when he was like, I will become a lawyer to do this. But he also says that he had tried to be in contact with him before that. So it does imply that only after he was ignored and then he saw this thing where he was like, Edgeworth is acting out of character, that he was like, okay, well, there's a simple way for me to get in front of him.
So within the last 2 years,
yeah,
22.
Yeah, we know that now.
I don't know if that's more or less fucked up, because if it was when he was a child, I could be like, okay, that's something you've internalized for the entirety of your life, and it's a difficult thing to let go of, so of course it's been, like, your only way to progress as you've grown up. But, like, having it be, like, I'm in my 20s, I don't know what to fucking do with myself. Hey, that guy I remember from school is a prosecuting attorney. I should take the bar exam, like, right now. Like, right now, and pass?
What if you were a freak and also gay? And you would be Phoenix Wright.
What if you're a freak and also gay is the name of my memoirs? Okay, shall we head down to the detention center and meet
Speaking
Lana?
of gay freaks.
Speaking of gay freaks, this is a moment, okay?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah.
You head down to the detention center to talk with Emma's sister, who Emma is like, oh man, my sister is being put on trial for murder, even though I'm certain she didn't do it. And the first thing Lana says is, I definitely did it. But when you first open conversation with her, I think this is the first time for a character this has happened, she isn't even facing you, and that already sets up such a good, like, introduction. Like, she is so aloof and distant. Well, I wouldn't say aloof, but she's very distant and melancholic right now, to the point where she doesn't even want to, like, meet your gaze.
It's made really funny by the background. It looks like she's sitting down on the chair, but facing the wrong way. So you sort of imagine her, like, really awkwardly, like, having to stand up and then turn around and sit down again.
She's doing that cool thing that people do where they straddle the back of the chair to show that they're one of the cool kids. But yeah, she's wearing, like, military regalia. She's got, like, epaulets and badges, medals of honor sewn into her jacket. Never in the entirety of this case, as far as we've gotten, is it mentioned that she has a history of being in the military. All of this is purely because she's a prosecutor. Because they are just like that.
They are truly just like that.
She's on the front lines every day.
Yeah, she's on the front lines every day getting people executed by the state.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that happens in this case. There's a lot of discussion about that happens.
Yeah.
And what else does she say?
There's a specific thing she says that really fucked with me. I want to find the exact
There sure
quote.
is.
Let's see.
She says, I did it. I stabbed that guy.
She does say that. But also, when you show her your attorney's badge, she says, your badge looks new, and Phoenix says, I polish it daily. And then she immediately says, in a few years, the gold plating will flake off, and then we'll see the real you. And I was like, holy shit. I don't know what her angle was coming out that hostile straight out the gate. Immediately addressing Phoenix, like the first time she stares at him directly into his eyes, bearing down on his soul, saying it's only a matter of time before the facade of who you are breaks and crumbles, and the world is forced to confront the demon that lives within you. Phoenix Wright.
What if it's more like, like a metamorphosis. Like you come out of the cocoon, and you're a beautiful silver butterfly.
But all that glitters is gold.
Whoa. So deep. This game's so deep.
This game make me think a lot. Okay, someone else talk about the other things she say.
So she does say that, like, this case is basically going to be really hard because the police will protect their own and they're not going to hold anything back and they're going to do fucked up things to make sure that I'm prosecuted. That's the chief prosecutor just saying that out loud to a human being. Like, this fucking world is incredibly fucked up. And we know this already, you know, police in general, but it's just like, even the chief prosecutor is just like, yep.
I really respect everybody doing the thematic work on this one. She does also come out as a lesbian.
She does!
She does.
Well, actually, she doesn't. She outs Mia Fey as a lesbian.
Yeah, actually, that's
and
true,
then
yeah.
Emma is like, no, it's intellectual. Like, Emma, shut the fuck up. Your sister's
Emma,
gay.
you're too young to understand this.
Emma, please, the grown-ups are talking.
Yeah, so we learned that Mia was a couple of years behind Lana in school. I don't know whether they mean law school or what. Like,
I believe they meant law school.
and yeah, Lana's like, yeah, I was like top of my class. I'm very good at being a lawyer. That's probably, quote, why she was attracted to me.
That was a lot to digest.
Great line.
So,
Best line of the case.
Mia Gay,
Mia Gay.
yeah,
so
is
true.
first name, last name.
They've got kind of a Phoenix Edgeworth thing going on.
This is what was in my notes and was in someone else's notes. It was in Rose's notes, but I'm glad that you also said it because I don't know how I've never not seen this before. I think it's because they make such a big deal about it being like, oh, there's parallels between Emma and Lana and then Mia and Maya, right? But there is so much parallel between Mia and Lana and Phoenix and Edgeworth. It's unreal.
So true.
It's a lot to take in, but I will be taking that in.
It's a great start, I think, because they have to get you in on this new case that has, like, you know, they had already wrapped up the game, and then they were like, oh shit, we want to add something else. Like, what are we gonna do to make people be into this? And they were like, okay, we're gonna have, like, a callback, like, a narrative parallel to Mia and Maya, because that was, like, the heart of this game. So let's just do that again, but with, like, its own twist on it. And then let's also, like, get into some of this shit about the prosecutors and the police being extremely fucked that we've just been kind of putting in the game without, like, actually doing anything with it before, right?
It's also, like, the first time where we've had to... It's not Phoenix being like, I really trust my client. It's just this random person being like, I really trust that this other person hasn't done it. And, like, even with Will Powers, like, Phoenix was kind of like, yeah, I kind of don't think he did it, even though he won't talk to me about anything. And then, obviously, with Edgeworth, he was like, he's never hurt a soul in his life. And we just have to
Even
be like,
accidentally.
okay, we have this client who's, like, desperate to be found guilty, almost. Like, what the fuck?
This is something we still don't really have clarity on. Like, I still don't really have an understanding as to why Lana is so desperate to be charged as guilty.
I have a theory. We'll get to it later.
I have theories. Of course I have theories. And we'll get into those theories. But first we've got to get into these crime scenes.
So true, so true. Should we go and investigate somewhere?
Come with us on a beautiful journey to the underground parking lot. Where all of your favorite YouTube videos are filmed. All of the best YouTube videos are filmed in a parking lot, to be honest.
So true.
I can't think of a single one off the top of my head.
Adam, you literally, like, if you look in the voice chat, the second thing posted in here is a video in a parking lot.
Is that true?
Yeah, and
It's
you,
true, and
posted it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking of underground ones specifically.
No, underground ones, that's trickier. But I'm thinking of that video. I'm thinking of the guy screaming "Help me" outside of an Arby's. I'm thinking of the fucking Kingdom Hearts 2 guys role playing as Sora and the evil guy. Who's the bad kid in Kingdom Hearts? Who's the nasty kid in Kingdom Hearts?
Riku?
I was gonna say Rookie. Rookie.
Okay.
Isn't
But yeah.
Rookie... And there's some guy called Rookie, right? Oh, this is a Pyre character from the hit Supergiant video game Pyre.
No, I think Rookie is the king in the cartoon world. Rookie Rouse.
We are who's on thirding ourselves like so far away from this case. We are in the third scene.
We're gonna be
Don't worry
here for
about it.
18 hours, folks. Underground parking lot. Who's at the underground parking lot? It's Marshall Mathers.
Nope.
It's...
We don't get his name. It's just some
We don't
weird
get his
fucking
name.
cowboy.
Just a cowboy.
patrolman.
Giddy up,
Guy.
motherfuck. It's...
And he has his own music.
He has his own theme
music.
music.
He has a lot of animations.
Yeah, he has like 16 animations.
His animations. So far in the game, I'd say his animations have been the best.
Behold the power of the 3DS.
Spoilers for later,
regular
but
DS.
his breakdown animation is like the tightest shit. It's
Yeah.
really good. You only get to see it for like a fraction of a second, but it's so sick.
Also, him just shaving with a full-on like fucking knife is just really fucking cool, and I wish I want to be that. I want to be that cool. Maybe not as an officer of the law, but in general.
I'd be pretty intimidated if an officer of the law was just openly walking around with a knife.
Yeah. Yeah. Fun, entertaining Jake Marshall wandering around
This
with a
whole
knife.
case hinges on
fine.
knives, and this guy is just walking around with one, and we don't mention it a single fucking time.
It's never relevant. You mention it like offhandedly once in one of the second day trials. And it's just like, oh, what happened to your knife? And he's like, oh, you mean this knife? And does the animation where he shaves his face, and he's just like, don't worry about it. And then we never worry about it ever again.
This world, it's a true dystopia.
So Patrolman Marshall is a cowboy, almost as if like it were a separate species to human being.
He's also just cosplaying because we find out that he's obsessed with Texas and he's like, everything is better in Texas. And then Gumshoe's like, that kid is from LA.
But also I think he's like bullshitting a little bit, because there's a point where he's like, oh, I'm like this because I saw a cowboy special 2 weeks ago. But then you find out that his brother, who's been dead for the past 2 years, is also a cowboy. So I'm 100% convinced it's a genetic trait.
You don't think they were raised in like a fake ranch, like just converted your West LA house into a ranch?
Two siblings could have the same bit that they are obsessed with.
Maybe Marshall wasn't obsessed with it until his brother died. He took the mantle to
Then
become
we
the
see
Lone
the
Ranger.
picture of them like investigating together, and they're both
Ah,
in
shit,
cowboy.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right,
The
you're
biggest
right.
plot hole of this case is, when did Jake Marshall become a cowboy?
Jake Marshall was born a cowboy, and he commits to the bit.
Could you say that he was a cow?
Assigned cowboy at birth. Yeah. Yeah, you very much could say that,
Incredible.
Jay. Very, very good.
So good.
Yeah, so he's got his cowboy hat, he's got his poncho, he's got his knife, he's got his big fucking 10-gallon hat, and of course he's got custom theme music, and he constantly refers to women as horses or dogs.
Bambinas?
And I was like, oh, no, he also does say bambina. But he also, every time he like interacts with a woman, like the first thing he says is like, whoa, where'd this horse come from?
Oh, he's a terrible man.
The reason it's so funny is
terrible
because he
man.
literally does do that.
How'd this dog get unleashed?
Horse.
Well, you better put a leash on
Whipping
that
her
dog.
head around
That's a
looking for
woman,
Edgeworth.
Lieutenant Marshall. So yeah, like, that's the one thing that prevents me from liking this guy, because he literally does it all the time. But in all other aspects, he's just a guy who is a cowboy. For better or worse.
But there's someone else here.
There is someone else here.
There is someone else here.
Cough up queen. What are you laughing at? That's her
Yes,
name.
cough up, queen!
Cough up, Queen. Jesus Christ.
Yes, Queen,
why?
cough up. Before we get to the cough up queen, there's one other quick thing I need to mention. There's like the first thing you do when you get into looking around the zone, the car park, is there's a wallet on the floor, and the first thing Phoenix tries to do is hand it to the police, which is so fucking weird. Like, that's not a thing that Phoenix would ever do in the past
He's
4
not on
cases.
his A game today, alright?
He's
doesn't
on
have
his
the love of the
he's like a
game.
different guy. It's weird. Like, the first thing he's gonna do is hand over evidence to the police? The people who actively withhold evidence from him until the day of the
We've all
trial?
had these
Are you
days.
for real, buddy? He used to love crime.
So true.
Now look at him. Fallen from grace. Okay, the cough up queen.
He does steal it.
That's what she's called.
He does end up stealing it, but he needs to be convinced by a 16-year-old, as per usual.
This man can't do anything without a 16-year-old telling him to do it. It's ridiculous.
Literally.
Then also he reserves the right to ignore them. So...
Oh, wait, sorry. I know I brought up the cough-up queen, but I want to rewind. Because if you stand here and just sort of, like, examine what's going on in the parking lot, we speed run a bunch of Ema Phoenix interactions. Just to really get us caught up on her being a lot like Maya. And also being extremely mean to her for no reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Even though she goes through the effort to give you a new method for interacting with the game itself, Phoenix still chides her. Despicable. So, like, since we already talked about picking stuff up, I guess we should also mention that, like, now you can examine stuff in the third dimension and look at it all around. So you look at the ID of the detective whose wallet you picked up. And Emma says that his number on his ID should be Yabba Dabba Doo.
It's Yabba Dab.
So good.
It's Yabba Dab, but it should be Yabba Dabba Doo. Emma in all of these interactions is coming like so far out of left field. It's like she's playing a different game, and I'm okay with that. She's not just like wild and a little crazy like Mia is when she's like talking about how bad she wants to eat food even though they're in the middle of the crime scene. She's literally like babbling complete nonsense that doesn't relate to anything that's going on, and I love it.
Yeah.
She rules.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to Mr. Relativity, by the way.
Incredible. Yeah, I love Mr. Relativity.
Mr. Relativity is her name for Einstein because she forgot what Einstein's name was. They couldn't legally say Einstein's name because of copyright.
We also had the complete opposite reaction to the stepladder.
Yeah.
I love if it wasn't for that, I would have thought it was still Maya. But
I'm so curious
if you thought that this was Maya too,
to
don't worry,
see
baby.
when this
It's
stepladder
not.
thing is going to pay off. Because we're really building it up
Stepladder
now.
is going to be the killer.
It's not going to be for like another 2
No.
games, I bet. But it better be worth it, is all I'm saying.
Play to find out.
I'm sure it will be. Okay, now, the cough-up queen.
Just fun.
I love her. I love her so much.
She is fun. Her like bit is really funny.
It's got a
It
curry
really
box.
is.
The idea that she just has these massive stacks of bento lunches that she can just pawn off on people that are somehow thematically relevant to whatever's being discussed. Really, really
She's so
ridiculous.
great.
I
She
love it.
imports them from the Far East.
Yes, she does.
She doesn't make them herself. These are old boxes.
She
that have
spends
been
her time wandering around a car park underground selling lunches. I assume she has other patrol areas
She has a reason for why she's there.
for dispensing merchandise. Yeah, she has a reason for why she's there, but like her reason isn't, I don't think, justification enough for considering an underground car park to be a lucrative ground to sell lunches.
I don't know what you mean.
So yeah, she's called the cough-up queen. I immediately clocked that as, okay, she works with the police because of that name.
I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. I was like, and lunch is bad? Is that what this is?
That would be a really funny name to be proud of if the lunches were bad. And we know the lunches aren't bad because we have to deal with the judge eating 2 of them while we're in the middle of a fucking murder trial.
Well, we don't know if he
I like
has
10 a.m.
taste.
Guy. This fucking guy.
He likes caviar. I don't know whether that's points
I feel
for or
like you could
against
give him
having
fucking
taste.
anything.
The judge, I think, is also another species. I think he comes from a species that reproduces asexually, and that species is just called judge.
No, the judge is just hanging out, and I respect that so much.
He's got a very important job.
Judge
I
is
don't know
just
if he can
hanging out.
I wish I could live my life like the judge.
He proceeds over
He's
life
killed
and
so
death.
many people.
But he doesn't let it get to him. That's important.
Yeah, like this is just his 9 to 5, man. As soon as the clock rolls around at 5 p.m., it's island time, baby.
You can tell.
I think
You can
it's
tell us
island
exactly
time
what he's
in the
doing.
courtroom also sometimes.
Often.
Okay, so Angel Star is the witness to the murder.
Yeah.
She is the
She
person that
has
saw it.
one of the, like, goodest sprites that I really enjoy, where she flips her fringe to the other side and her eye is a different color, and that is great.
I really like
It's
that
really good.
animation, yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, it's slick. It's good. Her design is also like, there's something really funny about it because she's also sort of a boobs breasting type character design, but it doesn't feel as like in your face designed to be titillating kind of thing. It feels a lot more referential because she's clearly supposed to be like a noir thriller sort of dame, but also like lunchbox themed, which I think is really funny. She's wearing a necklace that's those little sausages cut up to look like an octopus. She's got like sushi as attachés to her little like hat that she wears. Her whole getup is just very fun, and she also is just carrying around little lunchboxes. I just think the idea of like a femme fatale who is also a lunch lady is really funny.
You're right. It's great. Talking to her, we find out she's the witness, and no one has tried to conceal this from us for the first time ever. And also, she clearly is not a big fan of prosecutors. Delivering such lines as, Edgeworth gets an award for being the best prosecutor in town, and then she says, proof that he devours the evilest lunches of all.
Her lines
I love her so much.
This is what I mean. She's trying so hard to like ride every single fucking metaphor and simile that she possibly can. And it works maybe 50% of the time, but she never fucking slows down. It's amazing.
Everybody is so committed to the bit in this.
They really are, and that's why I love them.
Where did Edgeworth get handed that award, Devon?
It was at the police station.
It was at the prosecutors' convention.
Oh, but it was held at the police building, right?
It was held at the police station, but it was called the prosecutors' convention, also known as ProCon, which I just think is really stupid.
Oh god, that's fucked.
ProCon is like, they didn't even call it that in the game. I just was like, that's what it's called. And that's really stupid, but the fact that they didn't say it outright meant it was also very charming. I wanna see if I can like grab a list of some of the lunch metaphors that she says during this whole situation. Yeah, she just like says this stuff partway through like you having a regular conversation. She'll say shit like, only true connoisseurs can understand the kind you can only tell someone who has tried General Tso's Trilobite lunch set.
Oh, the Trilobite lunch set.
I would fuck up a Trilobite lunch set.
I want the pickle lunch.
The one that's just a tray.
On rice.
Honestly, like, kudos to the art team for having actually unique individual art for every single one of the lunchboxes that she presents.
There's so many lunches.
They drew so many
lunch.
lunches. There are so many. It's really funny.
I love the design of the boxes as well.
Yeah, they're
so
very
good.
cute. Like, every time she talks, she manages to make it about lunchboxes.
She's perfect.
Okay.
She just is.
She is. She's great.
So yeah, she tells us that she saw it happen, right? She's like, yeah, Lana fucking stabbed a guy.
Aggressively.
Let's
violently.
go to court. Very aggressively. She's the worst. You shouldn't trust her. She's a bad person. And, by the way, do you want to buy some lunch from me? That is much of the conversation.
Also, I fucking hate prosecutors.
I think there's a point in this conversation.
So hard.
Like her angle against hating prosecutors feels like it's emblematic of a lot of people in this universe having a very weird understanding of how the legal system works. And I get that part of that is because they have a really fucked up and weird legal system, but it seems weird that they automatically paint all prosecutors as evil, because like people like there needs to be a prosecutor, otherwise there's no one to prosecute crimes. Otherwise, every person would not be able to be charged with a crime.
There's just a lot of...
it's just citizens arrest everyone.
There's a lot of, like, complete... Oh my god, what's the word for, like, doing away with, like, prisons?
Abolitionist.
Abolitionists, yeah. There's just a lot of abolitionists. And you know what? Things are fucked, so...
I think this is the kind of universe where being an abolitionist / anarchist to the point where you don't even do any like gradual dismantling of the prison system. It's just, hey, it's the next day, all prisons are gone. Yeah, maybe, you know what? Maybe this will be fine considering where society was going. I think this might actually work out for us, considering how many of us were just being killed by the state.
So many people died. Christ.
I don't even want to know. I can't even like comprehend what the actual prisons in this universe are like, considering how few people survive long enough to get incarcerated.
I want to talk about the crime scene. We don't get a great look at it because Marshall is like, this is my turf, fuck off.
You gotta say it like a cowboy, Adam.
I'm not going to do that. But you can slide over. It took me a while to remember how to slide, first off. But you slide over the scene and then you see this like garish like red car with like the trunk is open and there's like some rope shaped like a body hanging out the back of it. Horrible, hideous car.
Whoever has a car like that must really like the color red.
Yeah.
Huh.
But Marsh was like, okay, you can't look at this. So you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll wander around. Who is it that says to go up to the office? It's Angel, right? I want to find the exact line, because it's like...
She tells you to go to office 1202.
There's a really long transcript, so it's...
Yeah, it's a beefer.
You read all those words.
Yeah, well, that's my secret, is
I
that
don't know if I did.
I don't internalize a lot of them.
The fact that these transcripts are collapsed like this sucks so
It
bad.
really makes
Please
it so
do
hard
the
to
Friends of the
search
Table
them.
thing where you can search any word from anything and then you can find it.
Well, never mind, I guess.
Someone tells us to go to room 1202.
Yeah. And we get inside this office.
I found it. This is really good timing. This is actually insane the way that it comes up. Emma says, this is to Jake Marshall, could you tell us one thing who owns that car? And Jake Marshall, although right now we don't know his name, it still comes up as triple question mark. Well, the little filly's got a good nose on her. This goes back to Rose's point about
Loves calling women horses.
You want to know who rides that red Mustang with the body in her saddle? Emma says, please. Jake Marshall says, no problem, partner. About time for vittles anyway. I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna look
Get
that one
yourself up to the saloon on the 12th floor of the prospector's office. Might find you a little cabeza that you like.
Huh.
I think it's pronounced cerveza. I don't know.
Probably.
I searched Biddles, and it's book printing, paperback, and hardback. It's a book publisher called Biddles Books. Is it really Biddles?
Vittles.
Oh,
Vittles. It's just a snack, according to this. The meaning of vittles is supplies of food, now chiefly used to playfully evoke the supposed language of cowboys.
Well, I guess he was doing that.
They did it.
He did do
So
that.
true.
Okay, welcome to the prosecutor's office. Oh boy.
Here's a very normal room that we're in.
I'm going to read a quote from my notes, which is, oh, there's a fun jacket in the office. Wait, what if it's Edgeworth's stupid red car?
And what did that turn out
Do you want to read the next line? Oh my god, it's his fucking car, and he got the stupid award.
King of prosecutors, baby.
King of prosecutors.
So here's the thing. I'm like 99% sure that jacket is just a jacket Edgeworth wears in some other game. It really looks like a mix of his outfit and Von Karma's outfit, and I can't get that concept out of my head.
Curious.
If you
Curious.
if you examine it, Emma tells you what it's worth. It's worth $5,000.
It's a fancy. Also, why is it in a fucking frame?
It's fancy.
You don't put your jackets in a frame?
I've never even heard of the concept of someone framing an article of clothing unless it's like as part of a historical museum display or like an actual fashion designer.
I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna
Like
do some
in
wild
someone's
speculation.
personal house.
Go on. I'll speculate later.
I just think it's fucking weird. I think he's a weird guy. I think his office is set up like a museum to himself, and I think he's weird for it.
I once again would like to draw attention to what I've been saying about committing to the bit, where the bit is one's own vibe.
The thing is, Edgeworth is so fed up with the bit at this point. Like his
say this
mentor
self-loathing,
tried to
wasn't
get
it,
him
Matt?
executed. He fucking hates that he got this award for being the king of prosecutors. He's been, like, shamed for being someone who is accused of, like, forging papers and was put on trial for murder. And like, everyone distrusts him as a prosecutor now. He's so fucking fed up with the bit. But you know what he's not fed up with? Is Phoenix Wright. As loath as he is to admit it, that man is in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
And what evidence do we have for that?
Oh my god. So, in his office, he has a chessboard, where in this chessboard, he has a green... So, green? Green? He has red
Green?
chess pieces and blue chess pieces. And the blue chess pieces have spiky hair. And he has managed to surround the blue chess pieces on all sides with the red ones. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, having a chess set in an office where the only people you interact with are either your clients or your colleagues is something a sycophant would have. And secondly, the amount of psychosexual ennui that must be on display as he's like strategically placing these pieces around the board is like unparalleled. This chess set takes up maybe 5% of the screen real estate, but the aura it exudes into the rest of this room is like so overwhelming that it just dominates the space. It is like unavoidable. It's so weird.
Do you think in this scenario where there's only a pawn on the table on the blue side, do you think Edgeworth somehow still loses this when he's acting it out?
God, yeah.
Phoenix wins because he plays by the rules of checkers instead of chess.
No, Phoenix isn't even involved in this. This is Edgeworth playing against himself in his room.
Oh, I see. He's his
The
own
Phoenix
monster.
inside
Yeah.
his head.
Yes.
Jesus.
The other thing is that he's got like a tea set that's on his counter, which is immediately above another tea set, and he's like got a collection of exotic teas. Guys, how many exotic teas are like fanciful, not bog standard flavors of teas would you say each of you have in your house? Because I've got like a couple dozen.
Yeah, like a couple dozen.
Yeah, agreed. Phoenix thinks this is fucking weird.
Yeah. No culture.
Phoenix thinks because he's got a couple, like an organized tray full of exotic different tea blends, that Edgeworth is like somehow overly obsessed and invested in his hobbies, which is so like, ugh. like I literally said in my notes, like, no wonder you can't stand being alone for 2 months. You must make for such insufferable company.
There are other things in this office. I want to hear what Adam's speculation was before I forget to ask.
Yeah, I think this jacket was a gift from Von Karma upon
see.
him finishing his lawyer training from him or whatever.
Von Karma's lawyer school for smart boys.
Yeah.
Loyal school.
That's
And he didn't wear it, he just put it in a frame, put it on his wall or whatever.
Oh, I think he's definitely worn it. I feel like I probably haven't seen him wearing it, but I feel like he definitely...
You've seen it?
I've seen it. It's in a frame in his office. I feel like... Because one of you said at the beginning that this case has a lot of, like, Easter eggs to the games that came in between this and the first one. And I feel like that one is the thing that strikes me most as an Easter egg from a previous game. That's got to be, like, some character outfit or unlockable from, like, an Edgeworth-specific game. Or fucking Marvel vs. Capcom.
Also in this office, a big flower arrangement with a vase that has a cravat on it. I'm once again ringing the bell of man who is obsessed with his own aesthetic. And I want to go back to this because I think what you were saying about people being extremely sick of it is true. And I think that you were saying, like, Edgeworth must be sick of his own bullshit. And I think it's the opposite. I think Edgeworth is clinging to this with everything he has right now.
Big time.
Because when we go back into court later, he sucks so fucking bad. He is back to case 2 Edgeworth. And it's so, like, I don't know, it feels so much like a reaction
Like
to me
he
to be
needs
like,
this.
oh my god, I had a moment of weakness. I have to immediately double down on being a piece of shit.
To me, it was more like, I need to go back, and I gotta go back to the old me before all the emotional complications came up in the previous case. I need this to be back the way it was, Phoenix. I need us to act like we don't know each other again. That's the only way I can be normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very similar to what I said.
But to me, it's not like he's like trying to cling on to his aesthetics and personality. It's more just like, I need to do some deep examination of who I am, because the last time I was happy was the time I was winning in court, and ever since I've had to interact with Phoenix Wright again, everything has fallen apart.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though, because then he's like, great, so I'm gonna like cling to those things that I had back when I used to win in court.
But I don't think he wants that though. I don't think that's healthy for him.
I don't think that's healthy for him.
Yeah, I don't think anyone thinks it's healthy for him.
I don't think he has a conceptual like idea of like, maybe I could move past this instead of going backwards.
He needs to. It's what's making him so sad. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's so gumpy.
I think
But
you're
also,
right. I just don't think he
silly
has
man.
the self-awareness for this.
He also, do you know what else he
not
has?
have the
He's got a
self-awareness.
steel samurai statue, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that does stand out
He has a Steel Samurai statue.
as something that doesn't fit, even though we know.
No, he said.
No,
yeah,
we,
he's a
we
fan.
know it does, but it doesn't fit the aesthetic of the rest of the office.
He loved it.
That
He
is
loved
his
that
like
picture.
personalization like feature, something that he liked so much that it has to be there despite it not fitting in even a little bit.
So, in the Steel Samurai case, someone said there's no way that... Because Edgeworth says that he's a fan of Will Powers' work, and someone said, like, there is no way that that Edgeworth has watched a single thing that Will Powers has been in. So Edgeworth really fucking loves the Steel Samurai,
Yeah.
huh?
Number
Yeah.
one fan.
He was not lying.
Number one fan. He was not lying. He was being honest. This man is incapable of a false compliment.
Do you know what happened in the previous case? He got, like, immediately after he was on that boat in the middle of Gourd Lake, he got back onto the shore. He, like, took a deep exhale, took a deep inhale, and was like, fuck, I need to get me a samurai dog.
So true.
Better catch up with my old friend Larry, who I've not seen since my dad died. This is normal.
This is normal. This is healthy.
This is what normal people do, right? They see their friends when they're upset. So, gonna go get a samurai dog, see my good friend Larry.
Another thing is that when you examine, like, how clean and tidy his office is, Phoenix gets, like, flashes of Gumshoe. And the idea that Gumshoe is, like, Edgeworth's whipped bitch is hilarious.
Yeah.
There's another character that you get flashes of as well.
Yeah, it's Wimbag. Oldbag.
Oh, yeah.
Windy,
His
Windy,
fiancé.
sorry, Windy Oldbag is her name. I remember now.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the person who sent him the big bouquet of flowers?
Did you send the figure
And
as
a
well?
Steel Samurai, I think.
I think so,
Yeah, I think
maybe.
so.
Also, something really fucked up that happens is, if you inspect the window, Emma calculates exactly how long it'll take for you to fall and hit the ground. She's like, it'll take
I love
3.7
her,
seconds
but
for you to make impact with the ground and die.
I came so close to fact checking
God.
that. Didn't get around to it. But we can do it right now if you want.
What floor was it? The 11th floor?
12th floor.
12th floor. Let's do science, baby.
While you fact check, the most incredible thing that Emma says... She says, this is the kind of room that just screams, I can do the job. Quite a change from your office, actually. And, like, listen, Emma is out for blood.
Such a dig. Like, holy shit.
Such
She
a
says
dig.
another mean thing, which is whoever owns this office must be a real stuck-up jerk, and then Edgeworth's like, excuse me? Which is extremely funny.
I love Emma so much.
Yeah.
She says the shit I say when I'm not thinking about what I say and then feel bad about it for 3 weeks. And I also put this in my notes, like, young me really related to young Emma, and I just love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love Maya, but I think there's something about Emma just being a bit more, like, she's a bit more, like, combative with Phoenix, which is fun, and, like, also she makes a lot of mistakes all the time, gets things wrong, and is, like, just a lot, like, I don't know, we know that Maya's not a perfect spirit medium, and that's fine, but that's usually used more in kind of, like, a plot way, whereas with Emma, like, she's not great at what she does, she's just fine, like, she's just a kid, and it's fine, and I just really, really like that about her character.
She's very endearing.
She's very endearing. So true.
How are the maths going, Adam?
I think it would take longer.
I thought it would take longer as
I don't
well.
remember the exact calculations, but like the sniff test is not coming back good.
See, and I want everyone to acknowledge how long it's taking Adam to calculate this, and the fact that Emma did it in a fraction of a second, so you know she's bullshitting the entire thing. And that's okay. But when this happens
she is
in like so
16.
much like, oh, I'm the hyper smart geek kid that wears the swirly glasses. Like, that shit pisses me off, because there's no way the human brain could, like, perfectly calculate the exact percentage of whatever, or the exact time it takes to do whatever. Because it's It's ridiculous.
No, I'll give her some credit, because I learned the sumat equations when I was about her age, so I'd probably be able to do it faster then as well. But I don't remember any of that shit.
But she got it wrong is the thing.
She didn't get it wrong.
Guys, do you want to meet everyone's favorite policeman officer?
Mr. Meekins.
Always.
Fuck this guy. This lanky fuck. I don't know why he makes me so mad. I think he makes me so mad because he doesn't have a fucking spine.
He made me mad, but not until later in the case.
Oh yeah, and he made me much more mad later in the case for a reason we're probably all in agreement with. So Officer not Meek Mills, Officer Meekins burges into the office to give Edgeworth a report, and Edgeworth is like clearly on Edgeworth, and he immediately antagonizes Meekins for bringing up anything that's not 100% relevant to the current case regarding Lana and the murder in the car park. We do find out later that the stuff Meekins did want to deliver him was technically relevant, but Meekins didn't read it properly, so he didn't know. It's kind of stupid. But he gets shouted at. His entire design, like, I said this in my notes, he looks like a scarecrow, but like a scarecrow crossed with like a Crayon Shin-chan cartoon. And I really don't like it. It's like he's from a different universe than every other character in this game.
But it's because he's just a foot soldier.
But like obviously he was going to be relevant, otherwise he wouldn't have a name and custom animations and all of that shit. And that's why I was like, okay, he's probably the killer. Turns out I was wrong, but whatever. I thought it would have been really cool if it was like, you know, the guy you least expect. It's the guy who's scared of blood and knives, and he turned out to be some kind of depraved serial killer. I just think it's fun. But yeah, like, his entire vibe is so upsetting. It's like watching a spider move around.
He also has a thing where he yells through a loudspeaker and it screeches. It's very
it's
bad
awful.
sensory experience.
Yeah.
That's the thing
Yeah,
that pissed
that
me
was
off later.
awful.
That's what pissed me off later, because he doesn't really do it here, I don't think. Because I didn't acknowledge it in this first conversation, so I don't think he does it here.
Yeah, I also don't
But
think
he does it a lot later on.
It's horrific.
It's really bad. It's
genuinely horrific.
like, in terms of sounds, it's nowhere near as bad as the metal detector from the previous case. And I was like, the first time I heard that noise, and I was like, oh, okay, that was a loud, harsh noise, but it didn't, like, physically make my ears really hurt like the metal detector did in the previous case. I'm glad that they managed to modulate their audio better. And then it turned out I'd have to hear that sound 50 more times. Yay! Notable thing about Meekins is that he has a bandage on his hand. They call no attention to this. He's also constantly holding one of those little good luck talismans that you get during New Year festivals. I can't remember what they're called. Don't know why he's got that. But again, it's not something that's
luck.
acknowledged. He does need some luck.
Maybe
He is
he's an
an
unlucky guy.
unfortunate guy. He has a lightning rod for misfortune. I mean, being born in this world looking like that. Poor sod.
Jesus.
Look at his face. You look at his face and tell me there's a god.
I know, but still, he's an unfortunate man.
His head is a septagon.
I wish my head was a separate one.
No, you don't.
Well, he comes to deliver a letter, and Edgeworth doesn't give a shit. Just throws it aside.
Edgeworth.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's probably not important.
It's definitely not important.
This is just procedural day-to-day stuff that they put in for some flavour, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's like, it's setting a precedent for like how much higher fidelity this case is than previous ones. They're just gonna have a lot of side characters that don't actually do anything or contribute to anything. It's just to give the world a bit more flavour. You know?
And I really respect them for that. Not enough life, still life.
Yeah. But Edgeworth doesn't want to talk to us a lot about the case because, you know, we're fighting against each other. He's the prosecutor for the case. He's a bit torn up about having to prosecute against the chief attorney, but he's like, I must do this.
I think this is
I'm
really
king of
funny because
prosecutors,
if you're in Edgeworth's shoes and Phoenix turns up on the day that you're preparing for this case, you must put two and two together almost immediately, right? And then you're like, do I want to do this again?
Back in the saddle, Edgy baby.
It's been 2 months since I've seen this guy, and
I'm clearly still processing a lot, as you can tell by my chessboard.
I've lost 2 cases against him.
The fact that he didn't see Phoenix come into the room and wasn't immediately like, oh shit, give me a second, and then like threw his chessboard on the floor is...
I love the fact that we don't get really a reaction from Phoenix on this to be like, I feel maybe a little uncomfortable about this one, actually.
Also, like, Edgeworth clearly has no idea of the implication of what he's done.
Yeah.
This man does not know what he feels.
Yeah.
Hence the chessboard.
You think he
Like,
did all of
wouldn't
that just subconsciously?
Yeah, 100%. Just like, oh, I'm playing chess. I wonder why I put them this way.
And as much as he, like, mentally strategizes against bringing about Phoenix's downfall and, like, tries to have, like, complete dominion over the court, he is, like, so obviously a bottom.
I'm so glad you said this, because it's true.
It's so true.
Anyone who writes Edgeworth as a top needs to come and fight me.
I think I need to play like 2 to 7 more games before I pass judgment on this.
I don't know about this.
His stance could change as he gets more experience, who knows? But I'd say right now, he's 100% a bottom.
It's so true.
Anyway, we gotta go to the police department because Edward doesn't want to talk to us about information.
Wait, before we do that, can we talk about Edgeworth's new question mark? It might not be new, but it's the thing that they keep using, Sprite.
I didn't
Oh my
notice
god!
this.
Ah, it's so weird!
It's so strange.
I fully believe that Edgeworth has only just learned how to smile.
It's literally...
Yeah, 100%.
It's like this weird look to the side where he gives like the slightest little smile and it looks like a completely different character. It's so weird that they added this one extra sprite because also he's very clearly smiling, but whenever that sprite is used, he's talking about something upsetting.
Yeah, what does he say? He says something and he's smiling. It's so fucked. Oh yeah, he says, why did she stab someone in the trunk of my car? With a smile. Like, dude.
I think it's deliberate though. I think it is literally the animators being like, he is so uncomfortable with all emotions that he's just like, doesn't know what he's doing with his face.
So true. I will say this looked a lot better in pixel form. As
I'm
many
sure.
of these sprites.
I'm sure.
This is maybe the first time where I'm like, it should look worse though. Like, it looking worse is better.
It's really bad. It's just a really bad sprite that makes him look really strange. It's like, after seeing that, seeing him at the podium in the courthouse was almost like a relief. It was like seeing an old friend again. I don't get it. I don't get how there can be such dissonance between that single, not just all of his animations when you're talking to him face to face, but that single animation versus all of his other animations when you're talking to him face to face versus him in the courts. Him on the courts.
Yeah.
Making sick 3-pointers.
Alright, let's go talk to...
The Blue Badger.
Who do we see at the entrance? Yeah, it's the Blue Badger.
We talk to the Blue Badger.
My best friend. And good pal.
But there's someone here standing in front of the Blue Badger, like, trying to imitate its dance moves.
Undulation.
Yeah, so this isn't the Blue Badger that we know. This is like a weird plywood animatronic that's been made that's attached to a car battery to do a shitty little dance and play a little song.
I can't tell you how much, like, when I'm having a quiet moment and my brain is empty, the Blue Badger theme song comes into my mind. Like, it's so fun.
It's just an ice cream truck noise.
Yep. That's all it takes. It's fine.
Adam, who's dancing in front of the Blue Badger?
It's Gumshoe. Now, this is weird because it was revealed that he made this animatronic thing.
Because he doesn't have fucking anything else to do.
So why is he learning the moves that he choreographed? Or was it he was granted a divine vision?
No,
Yeah,
my firm belief is that he slapped this shit together and hooked it up, and it just so happened to make a dance, and then it was choreographed after that. Because you look at the way that thing moves and tell me you look at the way that thing moves, and, like, it's so clear that it can't have been, like, programmed into it to have those particular movements. It just looks like it's based on, like, the weight and distribution of, like, the limbs. Because they're just, like, moving up and down and spinning around. There's not much art to the way it's moving. And the way that Phoenix describes him dancing, like, mimicking it like some kind of strange puppet, makes it very clear that not much thought went into what the actual dance was. But it's important that the Blue Badger, like, everyone in the police precinct is so determined to make the Blue Badger the face of the police department that they need to have it be the mascot. They need to have a dance. They need to sell merch. They need to have his face as the logo instead of, you know, the shield. They're just living that Blue Badger lifestyle.
So am I, to be honest.
I don't think it's going to take off.
Always have been. That That's okay. I'll happily be alone in this. So Gumshoe's there, saying very insensitive things about Lana and the case. And Emma starts getting mad at him. And then he's like, Phoenix, come over here for a second. Why is this teenager yelling at me?
Why is she mad at me? I don't do anything.
Why is she so angry at me? I'm just being really insensitive about someone's, fight for their fucking life.
I mean, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that they're related.
No.
Oh wait, one important note.
Still.
The Blue Badger is admitted to your evidence.
Yeah, I found that so, that was an immediate, oh man, it's all gonna be about this guy, isn't it?
This guy did it.
There has never been a time
killed
where there's been a
whoever.
recurring point of conversation in any of these cases and it hasn't been the pivotal thing to make or break that case before. Like with the stakes in the samurai episode, the Blue Badger is the talk of the town in this one, and we knew he was the killer.
I did make a note of it, but I didn't really think about it past that. We have been
He's the
given a
killer.
piece of evidence that we haven't even mentioned, and it does not come up through the rest of today.
What
That's
is
the
that?
parking ticket that Edgeworth gives you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is you can give Gumshoe your badge and you and him talk about how cool it is to have ID badges, and Emma is just like, oh man, I wish I had an ID badge. And I'm just like, girl, you do. there's one pin to your chest. You literally have a little badge with your face on it.
I'm pretty sure she just made that, right?
No, I think
fake
it's
it
just a
till you
student
make it.
badge.
God, I want
The idea that she's just... I want to make a Go Die in World War III badge.
What else does Gumshoe say? It tells us the Marshal is a patrolman, not a detective, which is weird.
Oh yeah,
He's
this
also
is
not
also
on
where
the
he says
case.
that he got... is this where he says he got demoted?
No, he's kind of like everyone's just been given random jobs. And that's not necessarily true. I think he just needs to believe that. for
Right,
himself.
because he's been iced out of this investigation, basically.
Yeah.
He does give you a letter of introduction to take to Marshall so that you can then examine the crime scene.
The letter, by the way, is his annual bonus, which was $20.
Woof.
It is incredible that anyone
Woof.
becomes a police officer. in
He
this
fought
world.
the mafia?
Yeah.
Does anyone even know
Yeah.
about that except us?
Surely he writes reports.
Yeah, they must do.
Surely.
I would hope so, actually.
Surely.
I don't know, based on my real life interactions with the police doing my job, I don't feel like any of them know how to read or write.
You heard it first.
Fuck
Holy
cops.
fucking shit. That was the best thing I've ever heard.
And that's it. We take the letter over to Marshall.
Back to the underground. Welcome to underground.
Marshall
So now
gives you
Marshall
the-
gets out of our hair.
Well, before he gets out of our hair, he gives us the autopsy report,
Oh yeah.
which has a really vague time of death. It says they died
Yeah.
within an hour and a half of 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and okay, also when you finally give him the approval letter from Gumshoe to investigate the scene, he says, "Be like the settler, strike out for lands unknown." And I was like,
Jesus.
Marshall, I am not going to be doing that.
He also says police investigations are like settling land, which is true.
Yeah,
because
that's
they're
the
both
thing, is I
racist.
was
I
like,
don't think that's what he
Yeah.
fucking meant, though.
Yeah.
Police investigations are a lot like gang warfare. We stay claiming our turf, and we're the only ones that are allowed to stick our noses in our own business.
This is weird,
don't
right?
like cops.
Because he seems really enthusiastic here, and you learn on the second set of investigation that he doesn't give a fuck about this job.
No.
His despondence with his own role within the police is really funny to me.
It's great.
Because he is simultaneously being a cop is important, but also I don't give a fuck about what I do, and I will literally only do my job once a month.
And Phoenix makes a good point, which is how has this guy not been fired? And I'm like, yeah, how has this guy not been fired? Also.
He's got tenure.
Damn.
Once Marshall leaves, you find a cell phone on the ground, and when you interact with it, a ghost takes possession of your body and opens the investigation screen and scrolls all the way
Yeah.
across to the cell phone and opens it. This is not the first time this happens on the case, and it is equally distressing every time.
Do you know what's so distressing about it is that it very, very slowly goes through the evidence
Yeah.
list. And I'm like, can we just do this faster? Please, please. And like later on, when you've got 2 or 3 pages of evidence, it still just very slowly goes through one by one. I'm like, what? I don't know. Desist.
So yeah, you flip open this phone because it's the phone that was left at the scene of the crime, and the first thing you want to do is hit the redial button. And for whatever reason, this flip phone has a redial button that's bigger than the thumb pad on the phone. Like most phones of that era, like didn't have a redial button. They had a redial function that you had to navigate to in the menus. Right, and this one's got a redial button that.
Service back then was really bad, so like having a giant redial button is kind of genius when you think about it.
But like the size of the button makes it seem like it's the most important feature on that phone.
Service was really bad.
Look, it's an underground car park. You're gonna need this. But yeah, we hit the redial button, and I immediately clocked that it started playing the Steel Samurai theme, and I don't know if that indicates that there's something wrong with me.
No, this is exactly what's supposed to happen.
But my initial assumption was that because it was the Steel Samurai theme, she must have been trying to call Edgeworth.
That is a correct assumption. However, it also was not correct.
No, it was not.
Phoenix covers here, it says it's his phone, but that's not true. It is, in fact, Emma's phone, which makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't think Emma doesn't know what, like, nothing was really said. Because the signal was bad.
I do not have any additional notes for this, but I would like to take a moment here and be like try and figure out what's going on, because you've got a body in the trunk of Edgeworth's car, and it seems weird. We've got a time of death which has been given to us at like 5:15, right? And we know that Edgeworth arrived at the parking lot at 5:12. So Edgeworth arrived. Let's say it took him a minute to get out of the car and leave the parking lot. And then this altercation happened in the next 2 minutes. That's weird, right?
The timing is very strange.
The timing is very strange.
So when you pick up the phone and play the ringtone, Marshall immediately is like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And you immediately lie to him by saying, oh, that was my ringtone. It just happened to play during when I picked up this phone. Sorry about that. And Marshall says, I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. This is the first time he said he threatens to shoot you, but not the last.
I feel like we have to assume it's true based on everything else
Everything
that we know.
he says about Texas makes it sound like Mad fucking Max.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I've never been to Texas.
Could be.
Maybe the only part of America that still, like... I was going to say functions, but I don't think they are functioning.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing so great in the Mad Max verse.
But maybe the only part where you can cycle around is LA, and everything else has got some other shit going on.
Another thing that's said in this sequence is that prosecutors get paid the big bucks, and I find it very strange that prosecutors apparently get paid significantly more than defense lawyers. Like, that seems like a major imbalance in terms of the way that court cases are handled.
Right, but they're like rock stars in this world.
I feel like they should all be, though, right?
But then I guess the problem is like defense lawyers are working with like individuals who maybe don't have as much money, whereas like this is a state that's clearly piling so much money.
Defense lawyers can work for scale, but they can also work for the government, which is what I imagine prosecutors are doing every time. So it's basically a government salary versus a scale salary.
I think the implication here, right, is like, most cases you show up within 1 day of the crime, the prosecutor's like, hey, this guy's guilty, and the judge is like, yeah, seems right, and they get executed immediately. So I don't think defense lawyers are like very cared about by the system. Whereas prosecutors are like, damn, it rules that we can just execute people immediately. We should definitely pay them a lot of money to do that.
It's fucked up because the defense attorneys have to do so much more work as well. The police give themselves to Edgeworth to give orders to them to find evidence and get clues and stuff. But Phoenix has to do solo investigations with him and a teenager, like sniffing around used crime scenes. It just ain't fair. It's just no good.
You're so right.
Do you want to play a game where you play as Edgeworth and you just sit in your office all day and occasionally bark orders to someone, and that's it?
And then cut their salary and ruin their life because they got one thing wrong.
Later on in these conversations, Marshall also says that they shoot you for call-outs in Texas as well.
I like to think that this is an incredibly dystopian world, and actually LA is the only place. It's actually a utopia compared to everywhere else, where at least there is a legal system.
I can't wait until we play a game set in jolly old England. Or, I don't know, Washington. I don't know.
Should we get on to the trial?
Jesus Christ, this is gonna be a long episode.
Is it fun to know that we're almost 2 hours in, and based on major checkpoints, we're only 1/4 of a way through this case?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so I feel like I need to explain myself a little bit. So I entered this situation with an energy. As in, like, not the trial itself, I mean this podcast. I entered this podcast with an energy that I wielded like a greatsword to smite this game asunder. And I feel like I haven't really emphasized where my problems with it lie. And that's because, genuinely, in the first day of investigation, I was just having a chill good time. I was facing no roadblocks, I was having no trouble, I was enjoying talking to all the characters. The only thing I was thinking is, Jesus Christ, this is taking a while. As is evidenced by the amount of time that we've been recording, currently at just over 2 hours. Like, this is an extensive case, and we've only just hit the trial, and now this is where things, for me, at the very least, would gradually begin to take a turn. And that's with the first thing that comes up when you save a game that says Trial Former. And I saw that, and I was like, oh, fucking what? So in this episode, they make you do 2 trials back to back every time there is a trial. And it's not honestly that... like, there have been trials before that have involved 2 separate witnesses, and that's really the only distinction between the 2. But it does make these trials feel significantly longer.
It is not a short case. Do you feel like it's unnecessarily long, or do you think it, like, the pacing is still okay?
I find this one to be unnecessarily... well, actually,
I thought it was fine.
I do find it to be unnecessarily long.
Okay.
I feel like there are needless things that hold up the progression of the narrative, not in terms of, like, the story being told, in terms of the mechanics that you need to do to engage with it. And we will get to that point.
I think I know what you're getting at, but I think I've run into that exact same problem in previous cases.
We will discuss it when we get there. because
All right.
it's gonna need an intense breakdown.
Well, I don't know how much time we need to be talking about the first half of today's trial, because it basically comes down to this woman was lying.
Yeah, she was lying.
Yeah.
She's so this is the trial of Angel Star, the cough-up queen, because she's the primary witness of the murder that Lana did on the detective that was living in a car, that was living in Edgeworth's trunk. So, because it's the cough-up queen, naturally, every single time you confront her with anything, she gives you a delicious lunch.
She's so perfect. The judge loves this.
I think there's some, like, big picture things going on in this first part of the trial. Like, I already mentioned Edgeworth going back to sucking real bad. Very explicitly at the beginning of the trial says, quote, "I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the trial today," which is, like, so... trying so hard.
You best not catch Fifi's, right? I know I haven't. I can take this 100% seriously with all of my power.
Really catty about the fact that Angel Star challenges him on anything.
He does also say something interesting immediately after saying the personal feelings thing, is that he says, "I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say." Then he says, "The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else," which really is kind of like, this is a cooperative exercise between us. He doesn't really act like this in the case, but that is a really unusual thing for him specifically to say
certain bits
at the beginning of this proceeding.
I mean, what is his concept of cooperation, I think is the question that I have here.
Yeah.
For example, every time Phoenix objects and says, like, this seems like a weird point, Edgeworth is like, here is exactly what is wrong with what you just said to Angel. And it's like, excuse me? That's my job. Like, you're just doing my job right now.
We also have, not a lot of it, but we have a fun moment in this trial where, like, the audience, I guess, are, like, wading in a little bit more. And at one point, a child says, "Mommy, are prosecutors bad people?" And it's nice to get kind of a sense of like what the public are thinking, I guess.
I didn't know they let babies in court.
Speaking of babies in court, can we stop putting teenagers in the defense stand?
Yeah, this is another thing that I was going to talk about when it became relevant, is is she just allowed to walk in here just because Phoenix said it was okay? I guess.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she would be attending the trial because her sister's involved, but yeah, she probably shouldn't be in the defense stand. Anyway, conversation opens up with Angel, and the judge says, haven't I seen you somewhere before? And then Angel immediately gives him a caviar lunch. And he goes to town on that shit. And then she gives Phoenix his own lunch of a Fiestival, and then gives Edgeworth one called the Fingerprint, which is just some white rice with some sesame seeds on it.
It's incredible.
She can spot a man with food preferences from a mile away.
That's the power of the cough-up queen.
Yeah.
It's so easy to bribe in this universe.
It really is.
It's like, you don't even have to be secretive. It doesn't have to be inventive. You just give someone some lunch.
Bribing and blackmail.
And the legal system is in your hands.
I know what you ate last summer.
I feel like as well, the judge is starting to become even more unhinged, where he starts talking about pickled tapioca, and it's just like really no longer even a cogent old man.
He's a doddering old fool. He's really, he's really on one this episode.
Someone please make this man retire.
He doesn't want to. He does this because he loves it. He got a free caviar lunch. He got 2 free caviar lunches.
For the perks.
But yeah, Edgeworth reveals that Angel Starr used to be a detective within the police department, and that she was known as the cough-up queen because of her ability to make people cough up the truth.
Did Angel Starr commit police brutality?
Yes.
2,000-word essay due on my desk Monday.
One-word answer. Yes, she did.
I think she did do that, yeah.
I think she probably poisoned people, which is police brutality.
I like to think she just gave them a nice lunch, because clearly it has a lot of sway in this world just to feed people, so that's all it took.
But yeah, she is obsessed with saying that she saw the murder, and then she went and arrested Lana immediately, and that she has a picture and everything, and then it turns out that she is like, welcome to Ace
Loves presenting us with evidence that we can then immediately use against her.
Oh, it's awesome.
So good.
She gives, in her testimony, she gives a description of the crime, and as part of that, there's like some splash art of Lana murdering a guy, and it's really intense.
Yeah.
Like, the energy in that art is she's got like this really aggressive scowl plastered across her face, like really focused eyes, and she is like launching herself at this guy, knife in hand, to give him a big old stab.
Yeah, they really went all out with the amount of art in this one.
Yeah, it's really good. There's a bit in the beginning of this where Edgeworth says something really catty, and I want to remember what it is.
He's really caught up on her being a lunch lady. Like, it's this weird, like, classist position that he has, which I guess, from a guy wearing a cravat, you could only expect.
God.
Well, once again, I think it's a self-preservation thing where he's like, yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just a lunch lady, ignoring the fact that she was literally a cop, like, 2 years ago.
The thing is, he also doesn't really respect cops, so...
True. Rightfully so.
For someone to stop being... Yeah, fair, but then also for someone to stop being a cop to then be a lunch lady, regardless of the circumstances, I feel like he's just gonna... Yeah, he is also gonna double down on that.
Yeah.
But when she's like, I think forging evidence is bad... He's like, that's an uninformed lunch lady's opinion. And I'm like, I don't think it is. I think that's a cop opinion.
But yeah, she gives us this photo of the crime scene, and we immediately get to use it against her because she couldn't have been seeing the crime happen. That's the establishment that we
I find the timeline
of this whole thing is so
confusing.
Strange.
It doesn't make any sense. So she sees the stabbing, and then she runs around for 5, and then she takes the picture of Lana stood there, I guess?
Yeah, she's just kind of stood there with a jacket.
At that point, the murder's already supposed to have happened, but then... Oh, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so her testimony hinges on the fact that she saw the murder happen and took the picture as soon as she did. But the picture doesn't show the murder. It just shows Lana standing at the back of Edgeworth's car, looking at the trunk, with like a bloody coat all around her, but no actual evidence that she did a direct stabbing. And Phoenix calls that out, and then Edgeworth like doesn't say anything for a few seconds, and then just says in like bland normal text, he just says, "Objection."
Yeah, it was so weird. Love it.
Not really feeling it today.
Not really. Not really on my A game today.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about the time problem here is, like, why did Lana just stand there and, like, let herself both get photographed and get arrested?
Yeah.
Which is the problem that we still haven't solved by the end of what we've played so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because also, okay, so here's the bit which has always thrown me and confused me. So, Angel sees the murder happen, and she also sees the phone call. Does the phone call happen immediately after the murder while Angel's still in the security office?
I think
or is that
the phone
afterwards,
call
like,
happens
she's run
after the
around?
photograph is taken.
Right, okay. God. Sometimes with Ace Attorney, I really just can't quite piece things together.
I wonder if it might be useful to, like, put together a timeline of events after this section of the trial.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in this section, Edgeworth's objection is that the photo that Angel took was of Lana immediately after the murder because of the blood splatter on the coat, and that's how it still, like, is concrete evidence that there was a murder happening, because there are records of, like, what was going on in that car park because Edgeworth was there, like, 2 minutes before it happened. And then from there, we just go to, like, basically ensuring that we can present an alternative as to what was going on in there, or poking holes in Angel's testimony wherever we can. Because the thing about Angel is that her angle is that she's adamant for the truth to be presented, but she's also perfectly okay with lying through her teeth to get the point across. So she lies about the photo. She lies about where she was. She lies about what she saw. Because the next thing she says is she thrust the pointy tip of the knife directly into Goodman's chest. But we can already prove that she didn't see it because of the photo. And then it immediately goes to the next piece of evidence, which is, what, the rubber gloves?
It's convoluted.
Yeah.
It's very convoluted.
It's a whole time.
There's so much wild shit she says in terms of, like, because we've already mentioned the way she talks is whack because she always talks in similes. She calls Phoenix a young cheese, I think. A young white cheese. And a greenhorn, and then says the judge is a yellow cheese. She also says a line later, which is, prosecutors are by nature well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs.
Yeah, she does say that. This woman is not okay.
Which is a really strange thing for them. I don't feel like... Because, like, I can understand that a prosecutor would, by virtue of being a prosecutor, understand what kind of wounds are necessary to inflict lethal damage. But saying by nature makes it seem like they're born with the instinct that lets them hunt their prey.
I mean, we did sentence a prosecutor in the last case, so...
I think the thing about this testimony is that it ends up, like, we find out that Lana had to run down there and stuff, and, like, some of it still stands, because she still, like, says she saw the stabbing, and she still did end up arresting Lana, so, like, Lana was there. But what actually ends up, like, being the end of this trial former part is that, is this the part where they were like, hey, in this other photo you can see that there's something in the exhaust pipe
Yes.
of the car, and we don't know what the fuck that was, so can we please actually finish investigating before we continue with the trial? So it's not even like we break down what Angel was saying so much as we just, like, discover new shit through this whole discussion that happens.
Yeah.
It's really funny, because I know part of her motive is that she hates prosecutors, so she really wants to see Lana go down. But if she'd have just had a better testimony, we'd be done. Like,
Yeah.
she didn't need to do all that.
Yeah.
The judge doesn't care.
Yeah. Angel's testimony begins to hinge on the fact that the murder was premeditated because of the fact that Lana wore rubber gloves. So it's like she came into the car park with intent to murder because she called Goodman there and was wearing rubber gloves and stabbed him. But we know that that's not true because she didn't have a murder weapon. She used a weapon she found at the scene. And then you call her out on that, and then for a minute, you're like, yes, everything's going to plan. And then Edgeworth says, right, I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. And at that moment, I was like, I don't give a fuck that we're on opposite sides. I need to run across the courthouse and high-five that man right now. And like, there are so many instances, not just in this trial, but in this entire case, where it's like, Phoenix forgets what his job is, and Edgeworth is like, hey, we're just supposed to be, like, proving whether or not Lana killed a guy. all of this stuff that you're disproving so far is entirely circumstantial. Like, does it matter or not whether it was premeditated if you're still unable to like, prove that she's innocent? Because it doesn't. Like, you're able to poke a hole in the premeditation theory, but it doesn't do anything to provide an alibi to why Lana might not have killed this guy.
You're forgetting Mia's lessons from the first case.
You're forgetting Mia's lessons are just fucking get a little crazy with it.
No, she says once you start poking holes in a bad testimony, then it all comes apart.
It kind of doesn't, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. It kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, even at the point we're at in the case, Angel's testimony is still what's gonna get Lana the guilty verdict.
Speaking of Mia, is it in this trial former part that she fucking shows up? And I don't understand how.
She does that. She does this in the Edgeworth trial as well,
Yeah.
In the Edgeworth trial, Maya is there.
but she had nothing to do with it.
I guess that's true. But at the time I thought it was Maya. But now I think that Phoenix is having carbon monoxide hallucinations.
Mia's a force ghost that shows up whenever Phoenix needs it most and says, "Hey Phoenix, don't forget, get a little crazy with it. Think outside the button." But this time, I think all she said was just like, "Hey Phoenix, like, return to the basics. Don't forget really obvious shit." And that's when Phoenix is like, "Oh yeah, she didn't come with a murder weapon."
No, I think that doesn't happen until later. It's not important though.
It might not happen.
It did
until
feel like
later.
they just needed to put Mia in at some point.
It was a very like
Remember?
her input was kind of redundant because it was like, "Hey, remember the basics," and I was like, "I do."
If you would give me a second to present some evidence, I would.
Yeah, this is the second trial that she turns up.
I think Phoenix's superpower should be getting a little crazy with it because it should. Oh no, the thing she says is like, you shouldn't be trying to prove this thing. You should be trying to prove why it couldn't be anything other than that thing.
This
or
is
something
still
like that.
the second trial that this happens.
Yeah.
Well, do we have anything else to say about Angel?
Aside from lots of misunderstandings about mufflers.
There's a bit where they talk about the fact that she called Goodman to the scene, which indicates premeditation, and then Emma's like, "If I ordered pizza, does it mean I plan on killing the delivery boy?" And I'd be like, well, like, it would if you did kill the delivery boy.
Should the Edgeworth be allowed to be on this case? The body turned up in his
Honestly,
car.
no, I don't think.
Should Von Karma be allowed to be on the previous case?
I'm sure I asked that question then as well. Look, I'm just asking. I'm like Phoenix. I'm just asking questions.
hey, look, I'm just a concerned citizen
It's
here.
all gonna fall apart.
Angel gives them the moss surprise. That's my favorite lunch so far, is the moss surprise.
Cute.
The surprise is that it's moss.
Yeah, it's so good.
We do get the line "false testimony is the most despicable crime of them all."
That made me lose it. Because it's the judge that says that. Like, we're on a murder trial here, and every single person we've ever brought to the podium has given a false testimony.
Do you think like every like law professional in the room at that moment like nodded like solemnly?
Yes,
Like,
definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Even Lana on the like stand, just like yeah.
By the way, in a later part of this case, we're going to be talking about serial killers, a crime that is apparently not as bad as giving a false testimony.
Well, you know, there's no crime worse than a legal system that's not doing its job properly, so, you know.
It's a good thing that's never happened.
Yeah.
No, it's a good job this is a really good legal system that's completely robust and
Yeah.
fair.
And then there's a bunch of stuff about the muffler. I can't...
Jesus Christ.
It's like a whole thing where Angel's next testimony hinges on the fact that Lana was wearing a muffler, like the scarf thing, but in the picture she's not wearing the scarf. And then it turns out she's talking about the muffler of Edgeworth's car, which has something stuffed in it. A couple of lines that really stood out to me is Angel says, "I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra," which is really stupid. It's like, I strike like a snake and bite like a specific snake. And then one point where she's...
Phoenix also says to her, "That's just two kinds of snakes."
It's literally just two kinds of snakes. And then another point, Edgeworth says, "It looks like you're just coughing up lies." At which point, Phoenix runs across the courthouse and gives him another high five. And when she starts falling apart, Edgeworth starts antagonizing her and literally is just like, "Witness, you should be better at this. You used to be a detective." And to be honest, he is right.
Oh, she fucked up Edgeworth's whole... He had an easy case here, and she fucked it up.
She did fucked it up.
I kind of realised something, which is that, like, Angel Star and Lotta Hart have similar witness energy, where it's like, I'm gonna go so hard at being a witness, you're not gonna even be able to fucking cope with it. I got photos to show you that I've not shown anyone else. Like, I'm here, ready to get this verdict. I'm with the prosecutor here, and then they just completely fucking ruin everything. It's great.
And then from there, this is where we get the information that she wasn't actually in the car park. She was in the security room, which is like overlooking the car park, because she was up there bringing a boysenberry lunch for her boyfriend. And the judge says boysenberry for the boyfriend. She has a lot of boyfriends, which is cool.
She has so many boyfriends. I love that for her.
It's really fun because it's so clearly supposed to be like, she has a lot of boyfriends. Do you dislike her yet? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I think she rules.
Yeah, like
she has a
polygamous
network.
queen. She does, and like she's not even like I didn't even register it as supposed to be like a dig against her, because I was like she's not only got all these boyfriends, she's going out of her way to make them lunch and give it to them. I was like, she's not even like a gold digger or anything, because that's usually the angle this kind of thing would go with. But no, she's like bringing them lunches.
What she's digging for is like
the truth,
access to the cops, right?
Yeah, but like still, she says she has like, that was a motorbike. She says she's got like a dozen or so boyfriends.
I love her so much.
Yeah, and that's when you find out it actually took her 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get from the security booth overlooking the car park into the actual car park. She shows you a map of the top-down like layout of the place and like her moving through it. The path she takes, because she says verbatim that she was like in a rush to get there to figure out what was going on and to apprehend Lana. And like she was in a rush, and all she did was like walk around a pretty small car park at the base of a building. In a hurry, you should have done that in 2 minutes max.
Well, hold on, because
In like
Just
in
say she ran down
heels.
there and one door was
yeah,
locked.
exactly. You gotta check the locked door.
Regardless.
You're gonna shake it for a bit, try and get through it.
Yeah.
And you don't know how many like unnecessary stairways there are in that corridor. That's not.
It shows you on the map. There's 2.
Look, the prosecutor's office car park is House of Leaves, actually.
The 5.5 minute staircase. There's another line here that I need to figure out what happens. Someone says, "Don't get the wrong idea," and I remember the context for that being really funny, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, Phoenix asked the judge, if you were a criminal, what would you do within 5 minutes, Your Honor? And the judge says, well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
Phoenix says, like, you have the instincts of a killer, Judge, and it's like, okay, what, excuse me?
I feel like at some point in all of this, we get, like, kind of a you need to do not a really complicated order of events, but, like, you have to press specific things in specific orders, and it only gets worse as the case goes on. And I have played this case so many times, and I still had to use a walkthrough, because I was like, Jesus Christ.
I'm so glad I'm not alone.
Like, again, I must have played this, like, 10 times.
In this first one, I did okay.
Impossible.
I didn't have any issues. I don't think I even, like, got a game over or anything like that. But it does just get worse and worse. She also, like, immediately after this conversation bribes the judge with another caviar lunch to extend the case.
I love her.
And yeah, that's when the judge says false testimony is the most despicable crime of all. I said we should kill people for that too, like they do in Texas. And then after that, it's about the shoes. One of Goodman's shoes falls off on the crime scene. But there's no blood at the crime scene because people are saying that Lana, like, kicked over a drum full of water to wash away any evidence of blood, which is an insane feat of strength. Like, the amount of, like, you could not easily kick over a big tub full of water, like a massive iron barrel full of water. It's not an easy thing to do.
Maybe if you like put yourself between it and the wall. And
Yeah,
use
then you could probably do it.
Yeah.
Get a good bit of leverage.
Maybe that's like Lana's superpower, you know, like there's spirit mediums and then there's people who are just super strong.
Really good
and they
legs.
become the chief prosecutor.
Yeah.
That's why we can't see them on the sprite. Too big.
I want a version of this game where they get an entirely different team to animate the bottom halves of every character.
Yeah, me too.
Exquisite Corpse game.
Yeah.
Phoenix is just constantly in the I had to do it to him pose. Alright, okay. That's it for this trial, I think.
Okay, so the timeline of events is we start in the security office where Angel sees Lana out of the window stabbing the body. That's what she says. So from then she runs out of the office, down the stairs to the door closest. It's locked. Runs all the way around to the other car park. Runs into the car park. takes a picture of Lana standing in front of the trunk of the car. Lana then runs around the wall/water tank to use the phone / hide, according to Angel. Angel then climbs a 9-foot fence to get over the wall and go to the phone, where she slaps Lana's mobile phone out of her hand. At this point, Lana runs around the wall again and kicks over a water barrel, and then is apprehended by Angel.
It's an advanced sequence of moves.
And so what's
A lot of running around.
weird here is, why didn't Lana flee the scene? And why did she not run towards the exit, but instead run towards the body and kick this barrel of water over? Those are the questions we have going into the next set of investigations.
And it is never elucidated whether or not Angel did in fact climb over a 9-foot tall chain link fence.
Not questioned. She did that.
Not questioned. She just did that. Lunch ladies can do that.
Her and Lana both have incredible athletic feats.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Feats. I get it.
I thought that too. So good.
So we take a recess while we wait for this new piece of evidence from the muffler of Edgeworth's
What's that
car.
weird cloth?
Yeah.
And who brings the cloth to court?
A new guy.
A new guy.
Normal guy.
I love this guy.
Yeah,
A new
I
theme.
see that.
A new
New
thing.
theme.
Here comes a new challenger.
It's called Swimming, anyone?
Is that actually... Okay, I want to know, what's his deal with swimming?
I don't
He just
know,
loves
but
it.
that's what it's called.
Swimming's
I
great.
mean, same.
Swimming is really fun.
Same. We're all just like David Gann here.
Yeah, his name is Damon Gant, and my god is his design.
Say more about
He
this.
looks like he would fit into literally any kind of fighting game, and he would not stand out. Like he would fit into fucking Samurai Showdown or Guilty Gear or Street Fighter or any of those, and like I would be like, yeah, this guy seems thematically appropriate for the situation that we find ourselves in. His look is immaculate. He has, like, perfectly coiffed hair to the point where he has a single, like, big chunk of hair that comes down his forehead like a lightning bolt. He has a beard that sort of coalesces into the shape of a clamshell under his chin. He's got bright pinkish red glasses, and his eyes are like the most shocking shade of green I've ever seen in my life. On his chest, he has a tie that is somehow placed in the shape of a crucifix. And also he's got a sick jacket. This is Damon Gant, and you do not want to fuck with this guy.
And he's the chief
He's
of police.
the chief of police, and he's also very bad at nicknames.
Yeah, it's so true.
That's his good friend Audrey.
Udgy.
Oh god.
And they are good friends.
They are best of buds.
They are good friends. Phoenix doesn't know who this man is. Phoenix is like, who's this weirdo? And then it's like, Phoenix, this is the chief of police. Are you sure you're a lawyer?
This is the king of police. The thing about this guy, the first thing I noticed about him was that there are a lot of times where there's just a massive pause and he just stares directly at the camera before saying anything.
He commands the room, is what is happening.
He is so, like, the energy... There have been characters that have been presented by now as, like, this is a bad guy because he's, like, authoritarian and merciless and will do anything to get the job done. Damon is just that guy, but real. This is what those guys are like in real life. That, like, there is... His aura is, like, so hostile that it feels like if you spoke out of turn against him, you would find your life ruined the next day.
Could be. Could happen.
And he proceeds to dismantle Edgeworth in a manner which is not just ruthless, but, like, unparalleled.
I think this is such a fun moment because Edgeworth has been having a bad time throughout this whole case. And, you know, we kind of get some stuff in the investigation at the beginning where everyone's like, oh, like, everyone in the prosecutor's office and the police are, like, really on edge about false evidence now. And we already know that there's allegations about Edgeworth using false evidence. But, like, this is the part where you're like, oh, things are going really bad for Edgeworth. And, like, it's coming from the top, basically.
Yeah.
But also, it's so fascinating because it's kind of like, he did do that shit.
He did.
Yeah.
He really did do that shit. And I think it's underplayed in this case in general because, like, when Edgeworth is talking about, like, but this is, well, he has a stupid smirk on the whole time that he's saying this when we're talking to him in the investigation, where he's like, oh, there's so many rumors about me, like, they've been around for a while, but they really started in earnest after I got arrested for murder. But, everyone thinks that falsified evidence. And I'm like, you did do that. Like, you did do that. And Phoenix is never like, you did that to me. Like, you did that when we were in court.
Yeah.
And then, right at the end of this, when Lana says, we did falsify evidence in SL9, he's so, surprised and, upset by this. And it's like, I don't know, it's a weird tone for the game to take on a guy who sucks.
I just really feel like they tried to retcon it, honestly.
Yeah, because
they tried to keep some plausible deniability, and in this game they were like, that never happened, when it's like, it definitely
I think there were
did.
parts in, certain other cases where the idea wasn't it wasn't falsified evidence, it was just evidence we didn't have until recently, and we just brought it out to surprise you. But then there is definitely a moment where Phoenix does call him out for being like, hey, remember that time you gave me falsified evidence of an autopsy report? So it really doesn't seem like whoever wrote this was fully settled on whether it was falsified evidence or not, because it seems like there's a bit of conflict in the previous episodes as to whether it was, because I'm all for the idea of Edgeworth just being a dick and not presenting that updated autopsy report to the courtroom just to fuck with Phoenix. That fits in character, but so does him falsifying evidence. So it's which one of these is the truth? I think the thing for me that really sets the tone is that when we first come back from recess, Judge looks at Edgeworth and he says, is there something wrong? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets, you've got a furrowed brow, you're gritting your teeth, your eyes are watery, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent. And this is all just in a reaction to Damon Gant being in the same room as him.
Yeah, that's normal, right?
Me when I see a corpse.
And then Emma says the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. I don't know what I'm supposed to infer from that.
Be afraid.
He has a very high fever.
afraid.
He's very sick.
This man is very sick, yeah. Oh, Christ.
But yeah, welcome to Gant, JJVA Villain of the Week. As we mentioned, his takedown of Edgeworth is outstanding.
Incredible.
It's really good.
Yeah, it really is.
Because like you said, he is just calling him out for stuff that he did. But it's more that he is in such a position of authority over him that he can just deadpan be like, look, this is your fault. You are the cause of your own mistakes. You fucked up, and it's gonna be a real problem for us if you keep fucking up. And Edgeworth just clams up, bows his head, the complete embodiment of shame, starts calling this man sir. It's so over for him by this point.
It's so wild because Edgeworth, generally is just so rude to everyone all the time. And, I don't know. I feel like this is such a mirror of his relationship with Von Karma, who probably was doing this shit to him all the time. That's his just, the only time where he's not in control and he just becomes this, blubbering mess immediately. And it's, so awful to watch.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, he did fuck up. And he should have listened to Meekins when he came with that report. This is not me being poor Edgeworth. This is me being he has a fucked up relationship with authority and he needs to sort that shit out.
So yeah, we didn't actually mention what the thing he fucked up with was. The reason he fucked up is because during this investigation, he's been in charge of the police force that's been, doing all of the criminal investigation and that sort of thing. He disregarded the report from Meekins as irrelevant, even though it was relevant to the case because it involved a tangential case that happened at the exact same time of the exact same kind of murder, but in a completely different part of town. We do find out that they were related, but there's a whole lot of preamble to get to before that point. And also, just the general performance of the police under Edgeworth has been, subpar, because they have not been able to provide evidence in accordance with the 2 laws of evidence that we find out about during this trial, which are also laws that we definitely have not adhered to. But hey, whatever.
Emma says to Phoenix, is that true, Mr. Wright, about the laws of evidence that Gant brings up? And he says, it seems so.
Maybe.
You have never read a law book.
So what Gant tells the court is that the police are currently investigating this other murder that happened at the police department at the exact same time, was also a stabbing with a knife, and also involved Detective Goodman, the person who Lana killed. So the presentation is that the exact same murder happened in 2 places at the same time. And my immediate thought was Mesoamerican wizard magic a la Indigo Prophecy.
Interesting.
Perhaps.
Because I was like, I've seen this happen before in one other video game, and it was a David Cage video game, so I really hope we're not going to be going there. And thank God we weren't, But, like, to be honest, I'm still waiting for the ball to drop on how magic works in this universe. Because it is canon.
It is canon.
It is.
Basically we have to prove to Gant that the murders are related. And the way we do that is by being like, eventually we're like, wait, it was the same guy who was killed? And he's like, yeah, it was. Congratulations, they are the same. And I'm like, are you supposed to just, like, not tell us that until we figure it out ourselves?
I feel like if police had more than one day to investigate things, this shit would never have happened.
I feel like a lot of shit would never have happened.
Then Gant also says, it took my officers 2 days to figure out what you did in this... Or was it 2 hours? I can't figure out. Like, Phoenix is like, oh, it's the same guy. And he's like, it took my officers so long to figure that out.
It's 2 days, but this is the second day, so...
So then have they only just found out?
Seems like it.
They've been busy. It's been evidence transferal.
So, this is the first part in this entire case that I got really, really mad. So, you're in this conversation with Gantz about these two cases that have happened simultaneously. And the entire point that you're trying to do is you're trying to definitively prove that these cases are linked and that they're not just coincidentally happening at the exact same time. And there are so many ways in which you do that. And I did a lot of things that, like, evidently proved that these cases were intrinsically connected. Like, you find the tag on the knife that Gant shows you, which has SL9, and you also link it to a note that was found on Goodman's body, which is regarding case SL9. You're able to determine that both cases happened at the exact same time, both involved the same person, because you find out that Goodman was at the police department, but his body wound up at the car park. Like the number of things that you can prove to back up the claim that these two things are connected is, like, so many, but none of it fucking works unless you do things in a very specific order. And it took me so fucking long to figure out what the order was. And I think the way it ended up playing out is that you have to press him for information again, present him with a specific piece of evidence, press him on a piece on a thing you've already pressed him on, and then he gives the information that you need to talk about. I think I would need to look at the walkthrough again to get the exact thing, but it was like
I'm looking at the thing right now, and you can just give him the note and then press him on the thing the first time. You don't have to do it more than once, but I pressed him more than once.
I also had to press him more than once.
But that's because I pressed him before I gave the evidence over.
Oh yeah, like the route method for, like, interacting with anyone at the podium is, at this point, like, press all of their statements and then find the contradiction. Like, there are very few instances where that's not the case, and this being an instance where that's not the case led to me being extremely lost for a very long time, and it was extremely annoying. Because the game gives no real indication that you need to do that.
It does.
Where?
Where the fuck is it? If you ask him, because if you press him on a thing, he's like, hey, I will let you ask one question about this murder.
Which is bullshit, because you can just keep pressing him and asking the same thing over and over.
Which you can just keep pressing and asking again. But if you ask the right question, quote unquote right question, Phoenix will be like, evidence room, I don't know anything about that. I'm gonna have to come back to this later. And that is the problem that you are going to have to select this again later.
I think that's stupid. I still think that's really stupid. Because I feel like, in terms of, like, narrative progression of, like, a court case, the idea of coming back to something later doesn't indicate that, oh, I need to press him for this later after I've done another thing. It's, I need to present evidence that is specifically related to evidence being from the evidence room.
The connection is that once you present the right evidence, he then mentions the evidence room. And you're like, okay, I know what the evidence room is. I can go back to that.
I would never have thought to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's convoluted, but I don't have problems. I had problems later in this case, but I got through this okay.
I think there's also, when you present him something, he changes one phrase of his testimony. I think that happens in this one. And usually when someone changes a phrase of their testimony, it usually means the information that you can get from that phrase of testimony is the thing that you need to, like, use to continue. Like, it's either the thing you need to find a contradiction in or the thing you need to press for more information. But in this, it's just not. Because it's just the bit that you need to use to be like, fucking go back and do the thing you already did, which is really frustrating.
So how does this end up resolving itself? I don't really remember.
Well, now that we've proved the connection, and Edgeworth, it's then revealed that Edgeworth made the mistake of discarding relevant evidence.
Oh, yeah.
Edgeworth is like,
because Meekins was too annoying.
I am so fucking sorry. Can I please have another day to investigate this case? And the judge is like, yeah, sure. Which he doesn't really get to do because he spends the rest of the next day in like a disciplinary hearing.
The judge says, I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. Was the judge not here for the entirety of the case involving the DL6 incident?
What if it's not the same judge every time?
It's a series of clones.
This is the species judge. Alright, day 2 of investigation. We're gonna make it
Wait,
to
I
the
need
end
to
of
be
this
mad
case.
at one more thing.
Please.
So, when you do finally get to progress to the point where Phoenix and Edgeworth bring up the stuff to progress with the case, it really pisses me off because they literally say stuff that would have been the stuff that Phoenix could have said if it counted if you just presented the knife and the case note. And that just makes me angry. Like, if there was specific evidence that was brought up in conversation with Gant that was relevant to what you had to do in order to get him to talk about it, then I'd be like, okay, fucking fine. Whatever. But it's literally just them being like, oh, the knife and the case note are things that are related to each other because they're both about SL9. I'm like, I fucking know that already. I've been trying to say that for ages. Thanks, guys. I think I can solve crime better than you. Okay. At this point, I went and took a 4-hour nap.
Did it help?
It's a good idea.
No, I was very exhausted.
No, because you're about to enter the most like a rigid series of events in the entire case.
The shit that you have to do here, it's like, there was some stuff here where, like, I looked up the walkthrough and saw what I needed to do, and I was either, like, A, really pissed off that the game made that so easy to miss, or B, really pissed off that I missed it, because in retrospect, it should have been really obvious.
I think the funniest thing about this is that when I was summarizing this investigation, I was like, literally the only thing we learned through this whole investigation is that Jake Marshall was in the evidence room. And I know we need to, like, get access to the evidence room and everything and, like, learn about what all of that shit is. But, like, the actual, like, what ends up here is not a lot.
Yeah.
I want to draw attention to something real quick from the Damon trial thing, is that we get mention of the SL9 case, and it's revealed that basically everyone involved in this case was also involved with SL9. Everyone except Phoenix, that is.
Yeah. Edgeworth was the prosecutor for the case. Marshall and Angel and Marshall's brother were the detectives on the case, and Goodman.
And Goodman.
And Goodman, who is dead. Lana was the prosecutor on the case, I think.
Lana... Phoenix... Oh my god. Edgeworth was the prosecutor of the case. I believe that Lana
managed
was coaching
the case,
him because... Yeah.
Well, we don't know this at
It
this
was his
point, but
first
she
big
was one of the
trial.
witnesses in the case.
Right. I didn't know she was one of the witnesses. I just thought that she was just involved in it because of,
I believe on the case file, both her and Emma are listed as the witnesses.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't know that yet. But we're getting an indication that a lot of people are involved in this case, for some reason.
A lot of people.
Do you think it was the same judge?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's only one of them.
There was a point earlier where he said people confuse his beard for a bib.
Yeah.
Easily done. Let's go back to the car park.
So at this point in the case, I have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Oh yeah?
Interesting.
I feel like I've pretty much nailed the entire thing. And I still think this, but obviously I'm not going to be able to confirm that for 2 weeks. But really, this day, like Jay said, we didn't really learn a lot here. We're just going through the motions. And that's fine. You've got to dispel some things to get to the truth of the matter sometimes. But I was pretty confident that I knew where we were going at this point. And I don't think that changed.
I have read your summary of what you think is going to happen, and I think it's very interesting.
But it's wrong.
I'm not saying whether it's wrong or right. What I'm saying is there is one thing that you did not mention at all that I'm really surprised you didn't mention. That's all I'm going to say.
That's totally fine. I mean, I'll draw attention to this. Like, in my notes, I am constantly making assumptions. I like to invite hubris into my home every now and again.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly, I think in the last case, I made some wild assumptions that did not come through like at all. So like, I'm ready to be wrong about these, and we'll talk about them later. I'm cautious about these ones having read Rho's notes, because I want to know what Rho thinks is going on before I talk about my theories, because I don't want to ruin this for her.
I think that's a good way of doing it. We'll get to that once we finally get through the edge of this fucking case.
I think we need to go to an underground car park.
Yeah.
We're back in the underground car
Welcome
park.
to the underground.
And Emma has a new toy. Behold the power of the 3DS.
Behold the power of the 3DS.
Is it 3DS or is it the regular DS?
No, this is the regular DS. But thanks to the power of the DS.
Behold the power of the DS. You're so right.
Thanks to the power of the DS.
like-
the game will now react if you spit directly onto the screen. She has given you a big old bottle of luminol spray, and boy, over the course of the next few hours, did I definitely use more than one bottle's worth of luminol spray. You use this to spray around the scene of any zone that you're in to see if you can find any bloodstains. And it's a fun little point of interaction until I was missing something and I didn't have anything else to do other than spray luminol everywhere and get really mad.
Oh, the days of my youth.
Did you
Scent of
spray
fresh lemon.
luminol in Edgeworth's office?
I did.
Oh, no, I didn't. Is there something there?
Devin, you know about this, Devin. We had a conversation about it this
It's all the
week.
stains on the couch.
Is that what brings up that dialogue?
I think it is, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
did
cool.
spray luminol in his office, but I didn't find anything.
There's a small amount of blood on the floor, and Phoenix is like, what happened here or something? And Emma and Phoenix have a discussion, and Phoenix is like, he probably cut himself peeling an apple with his stupid knife. And Emma was like, no, he uses that to go out and be in the wilderness. And Phoenix is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, he strikes me as an outdoorsman. Which,
Yeah, no, she
where
says
the
that,
fuck did she
says
get that from?
She says that when you examine his knife anyway.
Okay, I think there is something else that happens, because there's definitely blood on his floor, and Phoenix is definitely like, I'm pretty sure he cut himself peeling an apple.
But yeah, we get to spray around luminol, which is very fun.
Judging by the amount, my guess it's from a nosebleed.
Okay, I was
That's
wrong.
very funny.
Edgeworth's getting nosebleeds because he's so stressed about his stupid chess game, I guess.
Yeah, the chess game.
Angel is still here in this car park. And you can finally talk to her about what happened 2 years ago. And she says 2 years ago, me, a cowboy, and Inspector Gadget had the most important case of our lives.
Yeah.
SL9 is case involving a serial killer, which is like not something that's come up before at all, despite every single one of these cases that we do involving murder.
Yeah, and also, Lana is like, the serial killer got executed in the end, and Phoenix says, executed? As if we haven't done a bunch of things involving murder where the guy would have got executed if they'd been found guilty.
Yeah, I literally said, Phoenix, you should know by now that people die if you fuck up. And then Angel says the criminal got what was coming to him, so she loves the death penalty.
She loves the death penalty. This is really the crux of this whole SL9 thing, is that everyone agrees that that guy should have been killed. They just don't think that they should have forged evidence to get him to be killed. Or some people do think they should have. That's the moral question here.
Yeah, like, it seems pretty clear that he did it. Maybe this is why maybe that judge wasn't involved, because if he was involved, he didn't need that much evidence.
It's true. He would have just, whatever.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Kill this man.
Seal this boo-boo bear with
I
a
can
mirror.
see that he's a criminal by looking at him, so... It is the first time, though, that they say, like... Not that they explicitly say that someone is killed, they're found guilty, but, like, to use the word executed specifically, it feels like other times it's very much alluded to. You know, it's like indirect language.
Yeah, in like a lot of the other cases, you could pin it down to like hyperbole, where like Larry is like, "Oh man, Phoenix, I thought I was gonna die." Like you could be like, "Oh, that's just Larry Butts being dramatic," but no, they really beat you around the head with the fact that when someone is accused guilty of murder, they will be executed.
And like maybe Phoenix is reacting more about the fact that Lana's literally just saying it outright.
That's taboo. People aren't supposed to know that.
Right. Having a legal
Just
system
say
where
it.
you are executed, but it's taboo to talk about it is maybe the most fucked up of all.
Yeah. Hey, I think this world's really fucked up.
I think this world's really
The
fucked
general
up.
populace just assume that prisons are full of prisoners, but when you go to any prison, they're actually just empty because all of the prisoners have been killed.
Oh my god.
Jesus. It's the last time I pirate a video. Scary. Very
We get
scary.
instructed to go to the guard station. Anything else regarding the underground car park? Because I didn't write many notes on this.
No, I didn't write many notes about either of these two last parts, which is really
Here's a note
interesting
I
to me.
wrote down. If Jake Marshall and Angel Star both got penalized for this case. Why was Bruce Goodman still a detective?
Why was
Curious.
Bruce Goodman still a detective, please?
Because he's a good man.
And nothing bad seems to have happened to either Emma or Edgeworth, who are both also involved. Sorry, I meant Lana, but we also think that Emma was somehow involved. But she couldn't have gotten demoted because she
Is a child.
Yeah.
was just some guy.
Goodman didn't get penalized because he's the Goodman.
He's a good man. Sorry, he was a good man.
He was a good man,
Yeah.
a kind man,
Correct.
a normal man. Do you know who's not a normal man?
Mike Meekins?
Jake Marshall.
Jake Marshall. Also
Mike
Mike
Meekins
Meekins.
is
All of the police officers.
Yeah.
every single one of these is a guy. The guard station, which is under Jake Marshall's jurisdiction, is is like a prop storage house for a Western movie.
Banging my aesthetic drum once
Oh
again.
man, like as hard and as loud as you can. Literally, the entrance to behind the desk is blocked off by saloon doors and a fuckload of cactuses. And in the back, he's got an array of different poochies, which is what Emma calls ponchos, and I think that's funny. There are like buffalo skulls hanging from the roof. There's also like a lot of alcohol just sitting on top of all the monitors, all the security monitors, and I don't think that's very smart.
It's a saloon.
11 bottles of liquor, and also one of them is open and he has a glass on his
Yeah.
desk. Like,
I ask again, how has this man not been fired?
The thing that astounds me most of all is that in front of the door into the evidence room is a lasso, is a Looney Tunes style trap designed to hoist
So good.
someone up should they dare try to enter the evidence room. Which is A, a really, really funny thing to be in any room, B, absolutely never relevant ever again. Like, it
Not
never
yet.
comes up. Are you telling me that someone's going to get caught in the lasso trap in the part of this case that we haven't done?
don't worry
Oh
about
my
it.
god. Oh man.
I would really love to know if the writing or the art comes first. I really would like to know this.
But yeah, Marshall's not there right now. So the only place we have to go is the detention center, and we are greeted at the detention center by Ween.
I don't. Contextless, that doesn't work quite so well.
That's what happens.
Oh,
The first thing that
God.
happens when you get to the attention center is the
Pay
loudspeaker turns on and it says Ween.
It also makes a noise, which makes it a little
I
bit
hate
more
this
normal
fucking
sense.
loudspeaker so much.
You know the
It's very
animation that
awful.
he does where he like gets scared and starts choking himself out on his own like loudspeaker strap. I wish he did that for 5 minutes straight and
God, he's
passed
such
out.
a freak.
That seems like the sort of thing he would do.
Yeah, he's a freaky
Talking
little
to
guy.
Meekins, I'm gonna be honest, like, as much as I hate Meekins, as much as I hate Meekins, the way he talks is really funny. He says some shit like, I'm a little lost patrolman, like a lost little lamb, sir.
Pre-behavior.
Here's the thing, like, when I was young, I hated Mike Meekins so much. This man has grown on me, because I also feel the fear.
I find him insufferable, and I see him, and I'm like, yeah, I could turn that guy into a pile of meat. I could rip out that guy's jugular with my teeth.
Devin and I had a conversation about this the other day, and I'm just saying, all I'm going to say is I feel very vindicated right now.
From what I said, or what
And you
Devin
should.
said?
You should.
From what you
Okay,
said,
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be too mean about Mike Meekins, the person that Devin was just saying that they relate to.
He's just like me, for real.
Listen, I relate to him, I also know his flaws, it's all good.
Okay, you're allowed to relate to fallible characters. That's why so many people wear those Breaking Bad t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, so true. So true.
Yeah, I want to destroy that guy as well.
I can't fully remember all of the stuff that he says, but like the fact that he's here in the detention center, he was my initial like suspect as to the person who I could pin all this on. But like as soon as he showed up here, I was like, okay, it's Gant then.
Well, yeah, who else are you gonna blame at this point?
Yeah, literally. kind of running out of
You don't
options
think we're
here.
gonna meet anyone new?
No.
No.
No,
Curious.
no one. Blue Badger is going to come to life.
Well, we have to, right? Because we're going to have 2 people on the stands. I mean, one of them is going to be Gant, obviously. But we don't have anyone else the other person could be. I guess it could be Lana.
Interesting.
Could be.
There is some crazy shit that he says. So he's basically running through the events in his head as to what happened in the security room where the other killing happened, the police department killing. And he basically says he went into the security room, he saw or thought he saw Goodman there, who was surprised, pulled a knife on him, stabbed him in the hand, which is how he got his hand wound, and then Meekins unlocked like some secret deep-seated kung fu mastery, wrestled the knife out of his hand, and then got punched in the face, and then passed out for a few hours, and then when he woke up, Goodman was gone. And here's the fucking thing. Knowing that, why is this a murder case?
Why is...
Well, here's the
why
thing,
is it
right?
murder
So,
case?
firstly, we know there was a ton of blood in the evidence room.
Yeah.
And secondly, we asked this to Meekins. Phoenix is like, that doesn't seem like you killed that guy. Why have they arrested you? And Meekins says, oh, I'm on video. It highly implies I'm on video doing the murder. And then we don't see that video until we go into trial, and it turns out it doesn't even nearly show that.
In fact, it doesn't show a lot of stuff.
It doesn't show many things.
It shows less than most videos show, honestly.
So one of the other things Meekin says that really got in my head a little bit was he said his family mantra is do unto others before they do unto you, which is something a serial killer would think.
Or any cop.
Or any, yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah.
Also
Or any
true.
cop.
From a police family,
The Venn
for
diagram
sure.
is a circle, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And he loves yelling on his loudspeaker.
Yeah.
God, so much
Oh
yelling.
shit, wait, there was one other thing he says that really, really tickled me. It was where he was talking about, like, where he works. Like, the room that he works in.
It's like, is it like it's a lightless box or something, and there's like no air? Or
He said
something,
he
like,
works
horrific?
in a, yeah, he literally says something like he works in a lightless box with no air. Some wild shit like that. He comes from a place of dark where the grace of the sun does not deign approach. He is a being of the nighttime, and he is not worthy of walking amongst the day folk. I wish I could find it, but I can't. But that, whatever that was really funny to me.
Where did we head after Meekins?
Criminal affairs? Criminal affairs department.
Mr. Gantz here.
I headed to the criminal affairs
normal
department to
guy.
talk to Mr. Gant.
Oh God.
He's very interested in talking about swimming.
He's kind of excited to see us.
He says have you got any swimming in? Have you like done any swimming since I last saw you? And I was like, you saw me like earlier today. Because the trials take place in the morning before you get to do any investigating. So it's like it's been like an hour and a half, dude.
Should have gone from court straight to the pool.
So true. Then we wouldn't investigate, and that would be terrible.
Oh no, what a shame that would be.
Oh no.
He says Edgeworth's fucked.
Edgeworth's gonna be hanged.
Yeah, but he will lend us $50 if we ask. So cops ain't all
That's
bad.
great of him to offer that. You ask him for a favor. What is it you need a favor for? You need a favor to get into the security.
You need to get into the evidence room.
Yeah, the evidence lockers. Because you need a special ID badge to get in that, and Gant is like does that thing where he says nothing for ages because you think he might get mad at you. And then he says, yeah, sure, I'll give you an ID badge. I'm a really nice guy. If you need $50, just let me know. There's a point where Phoenix says, I think the criminal affairs department is a bad influence on Emma. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't...
Yeah.
She wants to be a cop so
It's
bad
so
already.
upsetting,
How bad of
like-
an influence could it be?
When you're in the area that's just in front of the police department and you're examining anything there, she's so propaganda pilled, it's insane. She's talking about like, oh man, I bet it's like an action movie back there. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Someone take
You
this
need a
time
reality
away.
check so bad.
We're literally walking around talking about how much they forged evidence all the time.
I think
but
if her sister
fine,
gets
don't worry about
executed by the state, that might be a little bit of a reality check.
Well, I think the reality check is going to be Gant is the guy that's orchestrating this entire thing, and he's the guy in charge of the cops.
Yeah. So we get into the evidence room. Are you ready for more mechanics?
Wait a minute. We need to talk about something important first.
power of the
We need to
DS.
talk about something important first. Now that you've gotten the ID badge, Marshall is in his guard station, and you can talk to Marshall.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Marshall shows you, like, if you try and talk to Marshall, because the way I talk to people is the first thing I do is I present them stuff. So I talk to Marshall, I present him some things, and he's giving me, like, some really heavy hints that are just like, I'm not interested in anything that you have to show me. And I'm like, okay. He says something like, if you come back with some more useful evidence, I'll have something to say or whatever. So I'm like thinking, okay, I've probably got to get some evidence from the evidence locker and then come back and talk to him about it. He shows me a record of all of the ID badges that have been registered on the door going in and out of the office. He shows me a screenshot of that, but he doesn't let me have it as evidence because he needs whatever evidence I'm going to bring him from what I'm assuming is the evidence locker. And like, you can literally go through your entire inventory at this point and nothing, like, every single thing you give to him, he's just like, gives the same canned response. So now you go into the evidence locker, and then you get to play with new toys.
What new toys?
What fun things can you do?
A vase. A vase. A voose?
A voose. There's
There's
a
a
voose.
voose. This is some Dr. Seuss shit. But also Gumshoe is here.
Also, Gumshoe is here, our good friend and police officer.
Also, the very first thing that happens is Emma hits him in the face, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
She's not that cop-pilled. She'll still punch a cop.
You can talk to Gumshoe about the ID cards, and he makes a big hay about how, oh man, it's a real problem. I've lost 3 of them. I used to, one of the parts of my job was issuing and managing the ID access to everyone who worked in my building, and let me tell you, losing 3 cards is not that unusual.
I can believe that. Gumshoe is, like, literally not. He's just more pitiful than we've ever seen him be, ever. He's just stood in this room. He's really not doing anything at all, actually. It's kind of sad. I just feel like a lot of this investigation as well is, like, them trying to really tell us, like, SL9 is important and Edgeworth's having a bad time. Most of it is just those 2 things.
I think the thing that was surprising to me is that SL9 was Edgeworth's first case, and he became, like, a renowned and feared prosecutor in 1 year since that case. Like, word got around fast.
SL9 was not 1 year ago.
No, it was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago. But like you've heard about Edgeworth since a while
that's true.
ago.
That makes sense. Phoenix read about him in the newspaper. Yeah. They did say it was his first major trial. Like, apparently he was doing some shit before that.
On a parking ticket.
Yeah, he was executing the people who lie in Texas, I guess.
Do you think he shoots them?
Yeah.
Really?
Definitely.
Like a Lady Love Dies scenario?
I think that he is...
I don't think Edgeworth and Lady Love Dies have a lot in common. Except they both wear red.
They wear red.
Yeah.
I don't think that Edgeworth has it in him to kill somebody, not to be Phoenix in the last case, but I don't think he can actually do it. I think that if you took Edgeworth down to the fucking execution room, he would be like, I definitely have no part in this whatsoever. And I'd be like, yes, you fucking do
Do you think he'd get
true.
kicked out of the shooting range for, like, crying before taking, like, every shot?
Yeah. Yeah.
The only gun he shoots with is an antique blunderbuss.
Yeah, you put a jar together in here.
Yeah, so that's a fun thing.
Do a bit of crafting.
Yeah, in the corner of the room, there's one of the lockers is open. There's a bunch of shit. There's like police tape up, and there's a broken jar on the floor. And Gumshoe's like, yeah, good fucking luck solving that. And you get to do a fun 3D puzzle and solve it in a couple of minutes. And Gumshoe is just like, yeah, I got that far, but there's a piece missing. That was a fun little mini game. More of those.
Is this also where we learn about fingerprinting?
Yes.
So you spray the room with luminol, you find a big blood stain on the floor.
Yeah, big old
And
pool
then
of the
you
stuff.
also find a handprint on one of the lockers, at which point you learn about fingerprinting.
Fingerprinting is another wonder brought to us by the Nintendo DS, where you can make any noise at your screen and it'll think you're blowing into it, as long as the noise is loud enough.
I played this game at least twice on an emulator before it came out on Steam, and you used to have to, like, hack it to be able to blow into
my
it.
God.
Yeah, I remember having to do
It
that
was a
for
big
stuff.
problem.
But in this, you just press, what is it, E?
Yeah, something like that. Well, I was using a controller.
The control scheme for playing this on keyboard and mouse is fucking wacky.
That is why I play on a controller.
Made for the DS.
Yeah, I don't care, Jay. Like, they had so much time to make like the buttons you use are like J, H, E, and V. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? But yeah, it makes doing a lot of stuff really weird and awkward, but it's a really simple little mini game, so it's never really much of a problem. You spray this aluminium powder to adhere to wherever there's a fingerprint, and then you blow it away with your DS to reveal it. And the game is very like finicky about how much of this stuff you have to apply. I mean, Emma says like pour as much of that shit on as you like, my dude, and you really do need to pour it on.
When I was a small child, and by that I mean a teenager, I would just fill the screen so it was completely
That sounds
white
like something
and
I
just
would
spend
do.
way too long on the fingerprinting thing. Yeah, and then blow it away. So I never had that issue, and then obviously this time I was like, I'm just going to play this like a normal human being. And you're right, it is extremely finicky. I had to go in like 3 separate times. I wish I'd just filled the screen.
Also, down here is a bunch of paint and a saw. It turns out this is the birthplace of the blue badger, and I think it's probably not a good idea to be doing DIY crafts and painting in the evidence room.
Why? Everything's in its
I don't
lockers.
see what the issue is.
I mean, that's
It's all safe.
factually untrue. There is a lot of shit crammed in between the lockers. You can see all of the stuff that Gumshoe gives you in the previous case. You've got the fishing pole, the metal detector, and the dog just all like crammed between the shelves.
It's so sad that he doesn't get to use his fishing rod anymore.
I know. There's also a target dummy for some reason, and a car door with some handcuffs on it, which feels like... That one also feels like it's definitely a reference to a previous case. I mean, a previous game that we haven't played yet. A previous game from the future.
Yeah, a future game.
A future game. So this is where I got stuck. This is where I got This is where I got stuck worst of all. By a lot. So... The main thing that you're doing here is looking for evidence using your fun new toys, right? And I found the obvious bloody handprint that's very clearly on one of the lockers, the pool of blood in the back. It took me a bit to find the third bloody handprint that only shows up with the luminol spray, but I did find it. And then after that, I just didn't know what to do. And it turned out that there was something in a previous room that I needed to get that I hadn't gotten, that I couldn't progress the case until I got. And that made me really, really bad. That made me really mad. Because I apparently hadn't given I hadn't given Marshall the detective ID, even though he said he didn't give a shit about evidence, but I can only give him the detective ID after examining the security camera. So what I'd done was I'd presented all of my evidence to him, to which he said, I don't give a shit. I took that to mean I needed evidence from the next zone to come back and give to him. I examined the security camera. I went into the evidence room. I did everything in the evidence room. I got the blood stain that we found on the wall. I got the rubber glove that was draped over the police tape. I got the broken urn. I went back and I talked to Marshall, and he said, I don't give a shit about any of this. And in retrospect, I am a little mad at myself because he is quite clear about what kind of evidence he needs when you talk to him. But I was like so exhausted by this point because I'd been playing this game for like 7 hours that I just like did not register what he'd said. And I spent like probably the next 30 minutes trying to figure out what to do.
I'm so sorry.
I was having a bad time. This game, like, it's railroading you, but half of the track is missing.
I think reading your notes was like so like frustrating. Like I was so frustrated at a game because there's so many things in your notes where you're like at the beginning of your notes you're like so like wide-eyed excited to do this case, and then everything gets fucked up by it just being like confusing and annoying, and I'm like, I wish that it was not like this. That would be cool.
It would be cool. It would be nice.
I wish that it wouldn't burn its goodwill.
Yeah, I also got stuck here. However, I also got stuck earlier on talking to Angel on this day. So I was kind of like just rolling with the punches at this point.
What did you get stuck on with Angel?
I just didn't present the right thing, and I just got to a point where I just presented literally everything in my inventory until it resolved.
I think this is where, like, a lot of the case is burning its goodwill on me, because there are so many things where I'm like, okay, this is something that you should obviously have something to say about, even if it's just flavor text. But for some reason in this case, either a character is going to say something essential, or they're going to say, I don't want to look at any of your evidence right now. It's like this weird Boolean approach to the way that you have to address evidence that makes it feel like, okay, my only rational way of doing anything, unless I'm like picking through the narrative with a fine-tooth comb, is literally just going to every character and presenting them with every single thing. And I find that so boring, but I literally can't think of what else to do.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like I've played like a good amount of games from this era where there's also there's always like this weird like esoteric thing that you have to do to progress.
Yeah.
But I've just kind of let it wash off me at this point.
I think the reason I was mad at it happening in this case specifically was because I was like, okay, this one has like a legacy to uphold at this point. There's like so many games that it can learn from, and I'm expecting this one to be like significantly better than that in terms of like gameplay and structure. And the fact that it was giving me all of these issues made me feel really bad, because I was like, what are we fucking doing here? What have the past like 4 or so games been for? And is this what I have to look forward to going into the next games after this one? Because if it is, oh my god. But yeah, it is a pretty common theme that a lot of these kinds of games do have. Like, it's a very point-and-click adventure game kind of thing, where there's just the point where you click everywhere on the screen until you find the one thing you need. It very much feels like that kind of approach. I think I was just mad at it because, like, this was already a really long case, and I was wasting so much time on something that felt like you get the evidence from the evidence room, and the evidence that you get from the evidence room is nobody gives a shit about it. Like, nobody wants to say anything about any of that shit, and it doesn't matter until you actually get to court. And even then, like, I still don't know what the vase is about. I don't know what the fuck that's doing there.
To be fair, if you had played even longer, you might have learned what the vase is.
Yeah, but like,
we still don't know what the parking ticket's
we
for.
don't know. Yeah, we don't know what the parking ticket's about. It's like the original games, the original episodes were like, I was the donkey being led by the carrot on a stick, and in this game, it's like the carrot is so far away I can't even see it. But I'm still just following the stick.
I want to know, we're getting towards the end of this day, I want to know that my last note for this day says, I'm so good at this, I could do this for a living. You've seen that video of the guy where it's like, they're both playing like Overwatch or something, and one guy is like laughing and singing, and like there's a point where he like steps away from the computer to dance, and then the cuts to the other guy who's like sweating like he's from the movie Airplane, and like clicking and mashing the keyboard really hard, and is just like furious. I feel like this is us, bro.
I think you're right. I get mad at video games sometimes. I'll sometimes try and be like, oh, I never get mad at video games. Like, I can't lie, I do get mad at video games sometimes. But usually I am just, like, pretty quickly able to let that shit wash over me. But, like, something about this just, like... I think it's the fact that it wasn't, like, me being bad from a mechanical standpoint. And it wasn't, like, the consequence was just, I died and I have to try again. It was like, I don't fucking know what to do, and I don't feel like the game has given me enough information to solve it. So the result is that I just am wasting my fucking time. And nothing makes me more frustrated than having my time wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's extremely...
Just being bad at a video game, I can live with that. But...
I guess if you think about from like a game design perspective, like where this game, like what precedes this game in terms of like genre and things like that, where you have these like, this game came out in 2001, right? Not this case, but this game. So before that, you have like 90s adventure games, which are extremely obscure at every like turn.
Oh yeah, like old Sierra games are literally designed for you to have to pay money to call a phone line for help.
Yeah, and like this probably wasn't super inspired by those because those are Western games and this is a Japanese game. But I imagine that similar games in Japan also had similar design ethoses at work.
I mean, visual novels were massive because of I can't remember what console it was that had all of the visual novels on it. Was it the 3DO that had all of the... one of them. The ones with, like, really high-fidelity pixel art. Just, like, lots and lots of... Just
What's
nothing.
the name of
like,
that one
talking,
dating
like,
sim
Quest.
that's really famous?
Oh, the one that's got the action button video about it?
Yeah.
Tokimeki Memorial.
Tokimeki Memorial.
That's the kind of game I'm thinking about when I think about what's preceding Ace Attorney. So while I think they've done a pretty good job on cleaning up a lot of that obscurity, like there's still remnants of it, yeah.
I think a a lot of this is a failure of the trilogy collection, in that the Greatest Attorney and the Apollo Justice trilogy have some quality of life features that directly address this problem, and they had not come up with them by the time they did the trilogy.
I'm very glad
for
that you
example-
didn't just say, I think this is a failure of Rho being bad at video games.
I would never say that. Yeah, so like starting in the Greatest Attorney, they're like, when you're like on the screen to move, your companion in that game will be like, I think we might have something to do at X place, which is like
That's all I fucking need.
yeah, exactly.
That is all I need.
yeah.
If you have to say, I think there's some other thing to do in this location, I'm like, fucking, let's go. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
There was a point where I was like, is there anything I've missed, like, examining in this room? Like, where's my, like, attorney vision that I can just turn on and, like, highlight everything? Doesn't exist.
One of the weird things about this game is, like, it makes you feel like there's a place where you can get advice from if you're stuck. So if ever you return to the RainRho law offices, you can say what to do or any ideas to a companion, and it feels like that would point you in the right direction.
But it
they end
doesn't.
up just kind of being like,
It's the
here's an
same
overview
thing.
of
Yeah, no matter where you are.
like what happened yesterday, and it's like, oh well, that's not okay.
Yeah, you gotta
great. This
call the
isn't
hints
helpful
line.
in any possible way. Yeah, god damn
Or
it.
by the,
Check out Game
God,
Facts.
broke like Phoenix.
what's the company that does all the guides?
Game Guru,
Sure.
Game Genie, Game Shark,
I don't think it has game in the name, I'm afraid.
Video Game, Video Game Shark, Game
Video
Spy.
Shark.
Guys, remember Game Spy?
The online
No.
multiplayer service?
Yeah. Shoutouts to Game Spy for hosting Enemy Territory Quake Wars, I think, maybe.
I think they did Saints Row 2. This is irrelevant. I know you're just buying time for me to look at Prima. Is that what they were called?
Oh yeah, Prima
God,
Strategy Guides.
Prima?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
Hey, Prima Strategy Guide's extremely bad website to work for, according to every single person I've ever spoken to in my line of work. Don't
Yeah, I bet.
do that, I think.
Company that writes on a name but doesn't explicitly do the thing that it used to anymore? Yeah, I fucking bet.
Welcome to BuzzFeed. Should we talk about the case?
Are we
I think
done
we're done.
with the
Well,
investigation?
well, hold on. There's one
Are we
second
done?
thing. We didn't talk about actually what we obtained from the fingerprint things. So the first one we examined, there's no fingerprints,
Huh.
Yeah.
which implies
'Cause
that
it was
the
a glove.
person was wearing a glove. We then find a
Or
second
was
set of
getting yogi again.
fingerprints, but because the bloodstain that was there has been wiped off, we're like, well, there's probably not fingerprints there. So what you have to do is then try and examine the point next to where the stain is to find it. Because on the stain, there's only three
I
fingers.
have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. So during that bit, I was just literally clicking wherever. Like, was I supposed to be able to see any resemblance of a fingerprint?
No.
Okay, good. Because I was like, oh, I don't know if this is normal.
Books, opticians, like.
I do need a checkup.
So yeah, we found a fingerprint and we checked against the thing. And we found out it's Jake Marshall's.
I really like the fingerprint matching thing. I think that's a fun little addition.
Yeah.
You have a
it's so
database
fun.
of everyone's fingerprints that you can match against. It's very simplistic, but it's neat. I feel like there's a pretty significant discrepancy between the amount of, like, thinking that you have to do for the investigation side of things versus the trial side of things. Like, you gotta think about stuff to be able to make contradictions, but, like, these are literally just matching games for children.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm okay with that, but it just feels a bit, you know, like, dissonant.
Well, it's because the only consequence you have for being wrong in the investigation is wasting your own time, whereas in the trial there's actual consequences
is it.
for being wrong.
I don't know. I think the time thing is worse.
The thing about the trial thing is that it also just wastes your time, because you just have to go back to an earlier save.
That sounds horrific. I'm so glad that hasn't happened to me.
Was there anything else?
Did we mention that you get a sheet of a log of the keycards that have been used to access the evidence room?
The log of keycards. Yeah, I mentioned it a second ago, but that was the main thing that I didn't get the first time because I needed to do stuff in a weird order. But yeah, once I did stuff in the right order, Marshall gives you that. And that's like a list of all the people and based on their ID cards who got in the evidence room. So you can
There
see
are 5 people that have entered the
5
room
people.
between 4:20 and 5:15, I want to say
Yes.
5'12" or something like that.
Which seems like a lot. And we know one of them is Goodman, and Goodman's card is used twice. Which I assumed meant entered and exited, but apparently it doesn't.
Wait, no, that's not true. Goodman's card has only been used once.
Oh, is it?
It's Meekins' card that's been used twice, yeah.
Ah, right. Right.
We also found out one of the other ones.
Sure.
There's a card belonging to Edgeworth.
And then the suspenseful music plays, like we're meant to start doubting him. I was like, oh yeah, we really believed him last case, but now he really could commit murder.
There are so many times in this next trial where the judge is like, Edgeworth, with your knife and your car and your ID badge, and Edgeworth is just like, nah, wasn't me.
Yeah.
and everyone's just like, well, okay.
I've already been proven innocent for 2 murders. I couldn't possibly find one.
Your Honor, do
Once
we
you
really
get
have to
to
do
that
this shit
tally.
again?
And Edgeworth's like, hey, the chief invited me in to give me a piece of evidence from a previous case, which is a screwdriver. This doesn't come up again.
So this screwdriver, one thing that's interesting about the screwdriver is it has another crime tag on it, but this one isn't SL9. It's something else that I've forgotten.
It's AEI something?
It's II from Super Monkey Ball. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing, is that there's going to be another case involved
I
with whatever this is.
I do not think
Aye.
this is going to be relevant.
Like ever, the screwdriver?
I think the screwdriver is going to be relevant. I do not think the case is going to be relevant.
I think the case probably isn't going to be relevant. I think the screwdriver, because Damon gave the screwdriver to Miles because, God, it feels weird referring to them as first names.
Don't do that.
Probably because he was like pawning off something that would get him in trouble on him. Because it feels like a lot of the circumstantial stuff surrounding Edgeworth seems like coincidence, but a lot of it seems like it's there to basically shift a lot of the blame towards him. And that's what the screwdriver being handed over to Edgeworth feels like.
It's AI 16.
Are we ready for the last day of court for this week?
Let's do
I really
it.
believe in us.
Wait, hold on. There is something. I'm so sorry. There is something.
Adam, we're gonna be late for court!
Can we talk about the bellboy?
Oh yeah.
What's it?
Yeah, the bellboy's there. That's weird, right? The bellboy's there?
When we go to Edgeworth's office to talk to him, the bellboy from the second case is there delivering tea.
I choose to not think too much on this, and this is just part of his strange tea fetish that he has.
Maybe
His abnormal obsession with teas.
maybe Edgeworth is just like such a delight to work with that he forms like long-standing relationships with all of them.
We know this isn't true.
But he's got gifts from Wendy, and he's getting delivered
Well,
tea
Wendy's
from
in love with
the
him.
bellboy.
Now
Yeah,
I want you
Wendy
to
just
think
fancies
about
him.
what the bellboy is doing.
Okay,
Bellboy is also...
making a note. Okay, we can get back to the trial.
Also, right at the end. No, we can't. Right at the end of this investigation, Edgeworth promises that he didn't forge any evidence in SL9.
Okay, yeah.
He does promise that.
I promise.
Now it's time for the court. Notably, I did not make a single note in this court until the very end, so that's how that was
Yeah.
going with for me.
Welcome to the final trial former.
Trial former.
Okay, so right off the bat here, Lana says outside the courtroom that she has made a plea deal that if she
plea
is
deal, if you will.
convicted, she will not be executed on the basis that she provides information for this case. Pretty weird.
Really weird. Does everyone get that offer? Who knows?
Or is it just reserved for chief prosecutors?
I mean, it kind of actually does make sense, right? Like, you might confess to a crime because you're like, I don't want to take the risk of being executed.
Yeah.
here.
God, this is so fucked.
Huh.
Well, horrible megaphone noise. Mike Meekins is back.
Great.
Mike Meekins, professional assassin.
That's what they say.
That's what he
This is
says.
the
That's what he says.
only time we've actually cross-examined the actual suspect of a murder. Usually they just sit in the defense chair. We never usually ask their testimony.
It's because it's a guy from a different murder, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't have super detailed notes here, but we eventually get presented with the video file from the incident in the evidence room.
This video.
This video is really good, like for the DS.
Yeah,
This is a
like,
pretty
I was
good
not
video.
expecting full 3D models. I was like astounded when I saw one full 3D model of Detective Goodman, and then I was astounded again when I saw another full 3D model of Michael Meekins. Michael Meekins really makes it sound like he's like secretly a superhero. Hi, my name is Miles Manners.
And so the events of this video is, first of all, this camera is programmed to do a sweep of the room, so it is constantly moving from right to left, obscuring details of the locker, which is on the right of the room.
We need to talk about this camera.
Can we wait until my explanation of the video is finished?
We need to talk about this camera.
Right now?
Adam, you don't understand. I fucking hate this camera so much.
This camera is the basis of every single stealth game. Snake couldn't do anything if those cameras were stationary.
No, that's not the point. The point is, why is the camera at fucking chest level? In what world have you gone into a secure building or any building that uses a security system and had cameras stationed at where your titties are?
Cops are perverts.
You can't
was
see
installed
the floor
by, like,
and you
Michael
can't see
Bay or
people's
something.
heads.
Gotta get the full like mise en scène.
It's like Gumshoe put the Blue Badger in here and then personally set up that camera just to keep an eye on the Blue Badger.
Well, Gumshoe wasn't the one
I
who
can
put
believe
the
that.
Blue Badger in here. It was Mike Meekins.
Oh yeah, it was Michael Meekins who did that.
So, the details of this video are: the camera is sweeping from right to left. The Blue Badger is in the center of the sweep and is doing his little dance thing. We see the person who is supposedly Bruce Goodman enter the room, approach the locker, open the locker. A glove falls out of the locker as it is opened. The camera then sweeps back to see Meekins entering the room, sneaking up behind Goodman. We see this exchange where Meekins supposedly asks Goodman for his ID card, and Goodman responds by pulling a knife. They have a scuffle. Really good detail is like during the scuffle, the like sign that the Blue Badger is holding is perfectly obscuring Goodman's face the entire time.
It's very fun.
Yeah,
It's really
so
good.
It's really, really good, yeah.
The camera pans away, and when it pans back, Meekins is knocked out against the wall, and there is no sign of Goodman. And then the camera pans back, and that's it. There are some details that I haven't mentioned that are going to come up later.
The first thing I want to point out is that the combination of the camera swiveling back and forth and the fact that the very center of the frame is perpetually the Blue Badger dancing and staring directly into the camera really made this feel like every analog horror YouTube video.
It's really good.
It's really,
so
really good.
And you've got the music playing the whole time.
Of course, of course. I was very sad that speeding up and rewinding the video when you get to investigate it further doesn't mess with the music.
So true.
But our objective is to, like, point out a thing in the video. And maybe this is just me, but when I was given that option for like this new way of approaching this, because like this is the same sort of interfacing that we have for picking out a specific place on a picture where something is awry, except now we're doing it with a full length. Like, how long is this video, would you say? It's like a good, like, solid 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, I genuinely didn't trust the game to be, like, generous enough with pointing things out to, like, be able to put my full faith in this video. Because I was like, oh my god, I bet there's going to be, like, a time where I need to click on Michael Meekins or Goodman, but it's only during, like, specific frames or during specific parts of the video, and that's going to make me go insane. And I was actually wrong. They actually did a really good job of tracking where all of the, like, positive interaction points are.
Yeah. And also, to their credit, they don't penalize you for making mistakes the first time you have to pick evidence.
The first time they don't.
Yeah.
However, as I have said, the thing I hate more than anything else is having my time wasted. And holy shit, did I waste my time on this. So the thing we're supposed to be pointing out is, we're supposed to be pointing out there has to be a justification as to why this couldn't be Bruce Goodman. It has to be someone else. And Mike Meekins gave the defense in his testimony that he never looked Goodman in the face. And my angle was like, okay, there's very, very clearly a point in this video where there's a good few solid seconds of these two guys staring each other down. And I was like, there's no fucking way you didn't see what that guy looks like. I investigate that, and I'm like, no, It turns out it's not that. That's nothing. There's another point in this video where at the end, after Meekins is knocked down and Goodman has left, you can see a bit of cloth hanging out of someone else's locker. And I was like, okay, clearly it can't be Goodman because he had access to someone else's locker as well. And these are all fingerprint scan lockers. So if he was able to get into someone else's locker, then it means it has to have been someone else. Turns out that was nothing.
It literally is true.
Yeah.
You just can't talk about that
It
yet.
literally is true. It's just not true yet. It turns out it wasn't that. And at this point, I was like, okay, I can tell that I'm gonna waste a lot of time on this. I'm just gonna bite the bullet and use a guide. What it turns out it was is that the light above Goodman's locker was turned on, but for whatever reason, I just didn't register that as a thing at all. Like, even when I read it out in the guide, it was like, click on the locker that's got a light on it. And I was like, what do you mean? They all look exactly the same. And I couldn't see where the light was. Because A, it was kind of bleeding into the background a bit. And B, I genuinely did not know that those things were lights.
Yeah, this took me a while as well.
I didn't waste too much time on this because I was just like, fuck it, I'm looking up a guide. But I was still like, oh, fucking, come on. Also, the controls for using the video are really bad.
What is then kind of excruciating is immediately afterwards, during the explanation, you have to rewatch the video some more.
Yeah.
In slow
You
motion.
couldn't have sped this one up, Phoenix.
Jesus. And not only do you have to watch it, you have to watch the bit after the thing you've already pointed
Yeah.
out, and then rewind it to watch the thing you pointed out. It's like, what the oh my god. Why?
I do not like having my time wasted.
Oh, also, just something I want to mention as well. We didn't see the videotape before this trial because Gant decided to give it directly to Mike Meekins, the suspect in this case.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to give it to Edgeworth. What the fuck is happening with this legal
Yeah.
system?
And also, Mike Meekins didn't want to give it to the court because he was like he didn't think it was important or something.
Well, Jesus Christ, it's so fucked up. Like, what? What? You trust your, suspects more than the prosecutors? I don't fucking understand.
Yeah.
Well, he's just a lost lamb. He'll do whatever he's told.
Yeah.
He is just a little lost patrolman.
He does literally say he'll do whatever he's told. He's best at taking orders.
When he was fighting for his life, he made sure to close his eyes like a man. Incredible line.
He also does that when he has sex.
Whoa! Oh, I don't want to think about this.
Sorry, Meekins is sexless to me.
Yeah.
He is a scarecrow.
I don't remember
He's
where
never nude.
the exact line of reasoning you go on, but eventually you have to examine the thing again. And at this point, you point out that one of the lockers has been opened and something's been stuffed inside. And so you, for the first time in this game, you as the defense get to call a witness. This is really exciting.
Ooh.
You get to call a witness because Edgeworth is like, yeah, I've got nothing. But the best part about calling the witness is Phoenix is like, I think it's time to call on a certain Texas Ranger, but you still get the option to choose literally anyone you've met so far in this case.
Well, I think, again, this is me projecting, but I think this is really interesting because a lot of this case feels like tutorialization for the next 2 games.
Kinda, yeah.
So I wonder if we're going to have a situation in a future case where we have to call someone to the stand and we're not going to know what the right answer is immediately, or it's not going to be just given to us straight. So I'm curious to see where that goes. But in this case, we call up Jake Marshall.
A certain Texas Ranger.
The hints in Ace Attorney are so funny. They're either so obscure you didn't realise it's a hint, or it's like, you need to get this guy right now.
So I feel like in other episodes, this would have just been like part 2 of the same trial, but they decide to break it up in this one. So we go back to the lobby for a quick recess, and you get to talk to Lana again, and Phoenix makes it very clear that he still doesn't know what the fuck he's doing all of the time, to which I'm sure Lana really appreciates. I feel like there hasn't been a single case where there hasn't been a point during a court intermission where Phoenix hasn't gone over to the person that he's defending and been like, hey, just so you know, I'm this close to fucking up.
I mean, she wants to go down for this.
She does.
Yeah, this is the only time he should be saying that.
So she's like, yes.
And then Gumshoe burges in, and he's gotten all of the notes and case files and everything for SL9, and basically says, here, Phoenix, you've never read a legal book in your life, now read like 450 pages of case notes in this 30-minute recess. You'll do great.
That's not true. He read notes before the Edgeworth Day 3.
He did do that. That's true. That's the one time he's read.
But what's weird is that it's revealed that Lana is the one who requested the Gumshoe do this in Phoenix Wright's name. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I thought she wanted to go down for this.
Yeah. It's also weird that she felt that she needed to request it in Phoenix's name because Gumtree. Because Gumtree knows who she is. She's the chief prosecutor.
Right, but she supposedly killed a cop.
I feel like Gumshoe would still do it, though.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess better to play it safe.
So you examine this huge stack of notes that you've gotten, which is 4 pages in the court record.
With bullet points.
One lists the people involved with the case, which are the 3 detectives that we know about, prosecutor Edgeworth, and then 2 witnesses, Lana and Emma Skye. The second page lists the victims of the serial killer, one of which is Nick. Is that right?
It can't be Nick.
Nick? Neil Marshall.
Neil.
That's weird, right?
Bit strange.
I
thought his name was Michael.
Gonna be honest, I don't remember what the other 2 pages said.
Jake.
Michael Marshall.
That's what happens when Meekins and Jake get married.
Aw.
Oh, my favorite ship.
I can't, visually in my head put those 2 characters together. I can't conceive of how that would work out.
Alright, it's time. It's the first time we're gonna do this on the show, but we're gonna open up AO3. And then we're gonna
This is like
Do it.
Meekins and Marshall is like an Alfonso and Beef Tongue kind of dynamic. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, that's awesome.
I apologize. I do
I'm
not.
afraid.
Is there anything for Meekins at all?
Yes.
There's got to be.
There's not a single ship fic for this relationship.
No.
sad.
Yet.
I'm gonna make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make it
I
happen.
have summer plans now.
I want all of our listeners to think really, really hard about these 2 characters. I don't know, like the only way I can envision those 2 having a relationship is like Meekins is basically like his horse.
Well, of course, all women horses, so.
It's true. That's how you
There
know
are
it's
only
real.
63 fanfics that have the tag Mike Meekins.
That's a lot.
63 more than I would have. Yeah.
The most popular ship is still Phoenix Edgeworth. I don't know how that happened.
Weird.
The unstoppable
I do
duo.
know how it happened. Don't get me wrong. In fact, none of the ships involve Mike in this whole list.
I guess he's just there.
Oh god.
Guys, we're so close to being done.
We're
Alright,
so close.
back on track.
So we drag Jake away from him not doing anything and into the courtroom.
We never actually talked about how he doesn't fucking do anything. We need to get on that for a minute.
He literally does nothing. He does his job once a month by his
Once
own
a
admission.
month. He works as the guard of the evidence locker. He's got this whole station of security cameras, and he's just like, oh, I just fucking let technology do all the work. I literally only come in here once a month. Once a month? Once a month?
We did also miss something important about this recess, which is that Emma sees the information that was given to us and is like, oh shit, you mean the Joe Dark killing? And is clearly very upset about this.
Joseph
And then
Dark,
runs away.
the most serial killer name to ever exist.
That's what I said.
The Dark serial killings. Yeah. They sure were.
So Emma's run away. We go back into court. We start talking to Jake.
I didn't even
made
fuck around.
very few notes at this point. So
I didn't even fuck around here.
To be honest.
I was like, the moment he started talking, I was like, shut the fuck up. Your fingerprints are at the scene of the crime. And I was honestly so surprised he never mentioned cutting himself shaving, and that's why there was blood there.
Yeah, he really should have said that.
Because he's doing that all the time. He's got a knife to his face constantly, and he never mentions it. Because he brings up the knife later on, and the fact that he does that thing that he does, which is like slicing his beard off with a knife.
He brings a giant fucking knife into court, and no one mentions it.
It's fine. It's fine, right?
It's fine.
And this time we look at the video again, and this is the time that we actually get to interrogate why there's a piece of cloth sticking out someone else's locker at the end of the video. Because that was the costume that Jake... This is like, I know all the stuff that happened in the underground parking lot was like, man, how did all that happen in that time frame? You want to talk weird fucking time frames? Jake managed to remove his entire outfit and stuff it in a locker in 3 seconds flat while never being picked up by the cameras.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you
wild.
kidding me? Like, I was genuinely so baffled by that. I was like, okay, is there a point where you can see that this has been edited where, like, the time skips or something like that? But no, there was not. Crazy. But yeah, he stuffed his entire outfit in his locker because he got a little blood in it after stabbing one Michael Meekins. So I was also very glad that I was right, because you do get penalized if you fuck this up now, which is a very scary prospect. And then the next thing that happens is you accuse him of playing dumb because he doesn't know about the fingerprint sensors. But I genuinely think he is just being dumb. I genuinely think he is just dumb, because we literally talk about...
I think it's confirmed, yeah.
We literally have a conversation about the fingerprint sensors, like, moments before he gets called out for not understanding that. It's crazy. This guy is wild. And that's when you get to see his really, really good breakdown animation, which is like... He acts like he's just been shot in the chest. He's like clutching his chest, and his poncho is like billowing out behind him. It like takes up the whole screen. It looks really good, really stylish. Love it.
There's also another animation where he's like,
So great.
his like nervous animation that we haven't seen before, where he's like eating jerky, but he's really nervous about it for some reason.
He only does that once.
so good.
It's in the whole game so far. He's only used that animation once. Is him like tearing up some jerky and then immediately getting shot in the chest. And this is when Mia shows up in our dreams.
Oh yeah, I'll go
I have
Mia.
the quote here. It says, so you're lost. And Edgeworth is like, it looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I will pass on to you what someone
Fucked up thing
told
for him
me
to
when
say.
I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. And Phoenix is like, okay, the basics is what Mia used to tell me. And do you know what the basics are? Try thinking outside of the box. That is not the basics. That's at least law 102. Like the basics?
I think the basics are actually
Just
thinking
have fun with
inside the
it.
box.
I genuinely think this is thematically relevant though, because like the basics for Phoenix has to be like, hey, everyone is making shit up. You have to just like go somewhere else with it. That's how defense lawyering works in this world.
Literally.
I kind of lost my mind at this point, but
Yeah. And then immediately after you call him out for, like, thinking outside the box is, like, because you've got to think of a reason why it had to have been Marshall in there. Like, why, whatever. This is like, the bit where you call him out for, like, that has to be the outfit that he wore to disguise himself as a good man. And you call him out for that, and then he immediately starts lying. But lying in court is worse than murder, so it's like we've already won.
yep. You have to return to the video evidence and point out that after Meekins gets cut with the knife on his hand, he then grabs, blanking on the name again, Marshall, by the shoulder, leaving a bloodstain on the coat. And so that is the reason why he would then have to have put the coat in the locker, and that's why that evidence came about.
He fesses up to it pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, this is when he tells all.
I mean, look, when you've been got, you've been got.
Yeah. Now you just need to hit him with the SL9 case files, and then he
Which
cracks.
I was ready for this. I was expecting them to ask me which page it was on again, like they did in the previous case, but no. I didn't care about that this time.
He gives us a whole breakdown of... I feel like I've said the word breakdown like 30 times today.
It's in the name of the podcast.
It is the name of the podcast. He gives us
For
a
a
whole
reason.
turnabout breakdown of like everything that happened 2 years ago with SL9. His brother was the king of prosecutors for detectives.
No, he was a
prosecutor.
prosecutor.
Oh yeah, he was a prosecutor. His brother was the king of prosecutors for prosecutors, and also a cowboy. And was killed by the infamous Joe Dark. You get a picture of what Joe Dark looks like on the screen for a second. He is like so villainous. It's like so funny how much of a caricature of just a villain he is. He's like wearing a black... Is he wearing like a turtleneck or with a trench coat? He's got a
I
knife.
think he's wearing a suit, isn't he?
I don't remember. He might be wearing a suit. He's got like
Don't
black
know.
gloves. He's got like receding white hair, like a really sinister smile and big scary eyes. He's just a villainous looking guy. So no wonder he's a serial killer, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what the Time Today's guy says.
Exactly. But, like, I think the thing that really hit me at this point was, like, okay, so even though we had to do all of that shit with Gant about trying to loop these two incidents together, the quote-unquote murder that happened in the detective's office and the actual murder that happened in the car park, about how they were linked and weren't just a coincidence, it turns out they were a coincidence. It was completely, like, they were about the same thing. But the time frame, the fact that they happened at the exact same time, was just completely coincidental.
Yeah, and in fact, this was all Edgeworth's elaborate trap. In that, by proving that this incident had nothing to do with the murder, therefore the incident happening in the parking lot was the murder.
This is what I'm saying, is like Phoenix gets so wrapped up in tangential nonsense that he forgets the actual case he's supposed to be defending. It's like, yeah, like, good job. They weren't related. By the way, your client murdered somebody. In case you forgot why we are here today.
But hold on.
And he did.
Hold on.
Maybe we gathered some important evidence after all.
Maybe this vase will finally be useful.
Nope.
Was it?
Nuh-uh.
Nope. I still don't know why it's got a hole in the top
Vases
and the
are purely
bottom.
for aesthetics. Don't worry about it.
It's like an amphora if you
I
fucked
bet
up.
this fucking vase is going to be pivotal for the next day.
Obviously, it's got
We're
blood
gonna
on
go
it.
into the important, like, every single detail of this vase is going to be poured over.
Like, why is one of the handles broken off? Huh?
Yeah,
You ever think about that? Wise guy.
all the time.
Right now, though, Emma bursts in and says, it's all about the blood, for sure.
It's
And then
blood.
it turns out that it is, because there's a handprint in there that couldn't have been put there at the time of this Marshall situation.
One thing that is really nice about Emma busting in is she's like, please just give me 1 minute of your time, and then Edgeworth is like, well, I don't want there to be any loose ends, so you know what? I'll give you 3. So generous.
Wait, I do want to
good
go back
guy.
to Marshall real quick, because I do want to say, I think it's really funny that the crux of the whole thing is that he just didn't know that there were fingerprint scanners in the room. And
Which
so
is really stupid.
just used the locker without even thinking about it. Just apparently was not given the memo when they were installed, and has just been using that locker for the entire time without knowledge that they had fingerprint scanners on them. Because the fingerprint scanner was on the handle.
Even though he knows that this place has, like, records of everyone's fingerprints and has a tracker to show who goes in and out of that room, the idea of the individual lockers having fingerprint scanners is, like, alien to him.
It's
Cowboys
good.
versus aliens.
It's good. I love it. Okay, back to Emma.
He also is doing this whole thing because he's like, I literally just don't believe that my brother could have been
Yeah.
killed, basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who have strong opinions in this world.
So true.
So you now need to present some evidence as to how that bloodstain couldn't have gotten there during the exchange with Marshall and Meekins. And it took me a minute to figure this one out. I'm gonna be honest. Because it turns out that it's because the blue badger was too close to the wall for the bloodstain on there to have been gotten there. Because it was, like, in the way of the lockers where the bloodstain was. I would never have assumed from the video that we got the blue badger was, like, right up against those back lockers.
Oh,
I picked up on that. It's pretty close. I don't know if you see it in the video, but you see. I have a feeling, like, my memory is saying that you see Marshall pass in front of it.
I genuinely don't know. I genuinely can't remember. Probably, but still, it seemed like it was closer to the camera than that.
And so, if the blue badger was in the way of where the handprint was, that means that the handprint must have been put there before the blue badger was in the room. And there were only 2 entries before that, looking extremely suspiciously at Miles Edgeworth.
Could he be the killer?
Or could it be the
No.
one entry that we don't know yet?
The one whose ID
Yeah.
is 77777777777.
That was
7.
4 or 5 too many 7s.
777.
Which we are told we cannot find the identity of because it belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher.
So it turns out, if you're high enough rank in the police force, you just don't have to follow the rules.
yeah, it turns out that way.
Fucking cool, I
'Cause
guess.
You must be so trustworthy to get to that point.
Also,
surely.
like, wicked obvious that that's Gun. Who else could that? This is the plot twist where it turns out Meekins was actually a captain in disguise.
Angel Star was never fired.
There is a little bit of an exchange between Marshall and Lena where she finally reveals that she did forge evidence for the SL9 case. Yeah. There's a line she says where she says, "I became a prosecutor in order to surpass the law."
Normal.
I don't know if that's how law works.
I don't know if that's what prosecuting is.
I don't know if that's what prosecuting is.
I'm
By trying to
becoming
surpass the
better
law,
than
you
law.
will become the law. You want to become better than law? Maybe don't go to law school.
Edgeworth is really upset about this. Just
He's
going
so
back to this,
sad.
they're kind of retconning the idea that he never forged evidence.
Yeah.
It turns out he actually wasn't lying when he said he didn't forge evidence, because he is now very upset that he has presented forged evidence in court without knowing about it.
The crowd
No, it's
It's
not his fault.
okay.
goes wild here.
The crowd goes wild here. It's
They
awesome.
start flipping
Yeah.
tables.
They beat the
Like
judge
they
with
get
no
so
gavel.
loud. You can hear people yelling in the stands like, "Yeah, kill her!
Mob
Put her
justice
in a
is
body
prevailing.
bag!"
The judge cannot regain control of the courtroom and proceedings are ended.
We have to evacuate the building. Riots break out. Phoenix dies.
Violence spills onto the street.
Whoa! That's the end of the series.
We get a cut to 3 years later where we're in an escape from New York style situation.
We're in Texas now.
We get an escape from
Texas.
Texas style situation.
So that's it.
That's it.
See you next week, everyone.
We beat.
Whew.
Good night,
We
everybody.
did it. We have solved crime.
We solved crime, guys.
What?
Adam, I want you to go first.
What do you mean?
Tell us how you feel.
I really like this. I think genuinely, like, my biggest problem with the case for is that you have to solve two separate mysteries, and I think it really kills the momentum having solved the first 2 days of trial to then go into a completely different case for the third day. Like, admittedly, this is pretty much my only problem with case 4. I still think it's a good case, but that really hurt it for me because I'm enjoying the mysteries. And so what we have here is I've been sitting here speculating about what has happened here for 2 days now, and the second day has really not provided anything for me, so I'm still speculating over here. So I'm having fun with it.
Oh.
We get a lot
Well,
of
good
fun
for
Edgeworth
you.
interaction.
Yeah, that's true.
Hanging out with my bestie. I got a cool cowboy. It's got cool theme music.
So true.
How are you feeling, Ro?
I don't know if the microphone on Discord is going to pick up my sigh, but it sure is going to pick up on Audacity, so I'm just going to go. So let me approach this from two different angles. First of all, narratively, I did really like this case. I thought it had a lot of work to do, considering that all of the characters we know from the previous cases were basically out, except for Edgeworth and Gumshoe. And being able to bring in new characters that really immediately had me interested, engaged, and invested was really impressive. I really liked a lot of the direction they had there. I like the mystery. It's very intriguing. Narratively, my main drawback is I think the entire thing with the parallel murder happening in the police department is dumb because it's not a murder. Like, the fact that it was ever classified as a murder is stupid because there was no body there. I think if they alluded to the fact that, like, oh, there was a similar incident, but no, they were, like, calling it a murder. They were saying that, like, it was another murder that happened, but there was no body, and all of their evidence was extremely shaky because it was based on something very, like, you know, in the air and strange. Like, the guy who is your main suspect was unconscious for 3 hours. and you're not even a little bit curious as to what might have happened during those 3 hours? For when the security room is, like, not guarded by anyone? Like, come on. I just couldn't really suspend my disbelief about that. And I know the entire narrative is, like, gonna revolve around how fucked up and corrupt the cops are, and we're getting to that, but I just feel like it just didn't really engage me or make the second day of investigations feel, like, worth much. Then we get to the gameplay issues. And like I said, the new mechanics they introduce, they're fun. They break up the pace. They're really, it's an interesting way to see how the games are going to progress over the next few installments. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they shake things up. They are very simple, but, you know, they're just, like, fun little side things to do. However, the way this game needs you to be railroaded into specific sequences and is very intent on doing things that like require you to not just think in a very specific kind of mindset, but also abhor the idea of thinking outside that box, is so aggravating to me. Like, the thing I hate most in every video game, forever, since the dawn of time, is anything that restricts me from thinking steps ahead of the characters I am playing as. And I am constantly doing that in this case. I am constantly, like, the next logical step ahead of where Phoenix is, and it constantly leads me to getting stuck in between a rock and a hard place, and it makes me so fucking mad. Other than that, I had a great time.
Have you, so you've been running into this problem before though, presumably. Is this just the case that this case is longer, so you're experiencing it more?
I was running into it before, but before it was always during a trial, and when it's in a trial, it's so much easier to, you know, get to the point where you get the correct thing. And I think there was only one major instance of it happening in a similar way to how it happened in this case, in the previous cases, where, you know, you have to, like, do a thing and then go back and do another thing that you didn't know you had to go do again. And in that instance, I, like, did figure it out in my own terms, and it didn't waste that much of my time. But in this one, I think it's just because there are so many avenues for you to have like an alternate way of thinking about how this is supposed to play out. And if you pursue any of those, you're basically like going down the wrong path in a maze, and getting out of that path requires you to backtrack how you've been thinking about this entire thing, and it's just not fun, and it's wasting my time, and it makes me angry, and I don't like it. But yeah, other than that, I had a great time.
Well, I'm sorry, Ro, I didn't run into those issues, or at least I didn't run into them any more than I did
for you!
Didn't run into them any more than I did in previous cases.
I think it's just like, I don't like this one. It is very long. It is very long, and I think that's a part of it. Like, I can definitely pin some of my fuck-ups on myself, but it's also just that kind of archaic game design that comes from this. And I could be a lot more forgiving about this if this were any of the other 4 cases that I ran into these issues, because I would be like, oh, these are old games. Like, if this game came out as it is, as like a brand new title in 2022 or whatever, I wouldn't be giving these episodes like scores in the like 7,000 to 9,000s, like because I'm judging these based on the time they came out at. And this case came out with like a bunch of other cases that it could base its quality and experience and gameplay and writing off of, and it just kind of like, it got the writing good, and it more just like teased stuff that's going to be in other games, but the actual mechanisms behind how you like have to progress is still the same as it ever was.
To be fair, I think that the games came out like a couple of years apart, and then this one came out. So I think this still came out in like, I don't know, 2006 or some shit, right? Like, it's not that bad.
Yeah, but still, you got to remember the thing Adam said about how the original games were basically building themselves up from a legacy of being like games like Tokimeki Memorial. Whereas like by this point, even though it was a couple of years later, they were building themselves up by being Phoenix Wright games, you know?
Yeah.
Well, let me pull up the timeline for you. Ace Attorney came out 2001, Justice for All 2002, Trials and Tribulations 2004. So pretty quick turnaround on these. Just trying to find a date for the DS 2005.
So it's only been 4 years.
A lot can change in 4 years. You can go through a whole new console cycle.
Not a lot, it seems.
Not a lot, it would seem. Less than I would hope, to be honest.
And then Apollo Justice 2007.
Everyone's favorite.
Which they were developing for a whole new system.
But yeah, like, it makes me mad because I like the story that they're telling in this one, and it makes me mad that I'm scared to engage with it because of how angry it's made me so far.
I think that your feelings about this are very true and very understandable.
Okay, it's someone else's turn.
Case pretty good. I didn't have to play it, so that helps. Devon?
I've definitely felt where you are, Ro. I have also played this game so many times now that I just remember everything I'm supposed to do, except for like one time when I got stuck. So it's just like, yeah, I definitely feel the frustrations with just like the clunkiness and the railroading and the, you know, you get one hint an hour ago of what you're supposed to do next, and then you forget because other things have happened, and it's like, ah. But I just really, really love the characters in this case. Like, just visually, the designs are really engaging and like kind of make them feel really alive. This case makes me so nostalgic.
It's the first case that, like, when I say this game is like built upon the idea of it being an Ace Attorney video game, this case, I mean, I feel like that's evident in nowhere better than the way the characters are made. Because I feel like Ace Attorney characters, like, you've got Phoenix and you've got Edgeworth and you've got the Judge. And those are like the 3 guys that people know from the main game. And then everyone everyone after that has like such loud and aggressive personalities and aesthetics that they really became such a staple of what it meant to be an Ace Attorney character, and all of the characters in this game are very representative of that.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's cool.
It is fun. And it expands the world just a little bit more in some ways. I think because the prosecutor's office and like the police department are such like, those are things which like, you know, that like Phoenix has to kind of engage with at different points. Like, I don't know, stuff that might be off camera. And again, I say this a lot about Ace Attorney. There's a lot of stuff that gets started in the games that I like, fan fiction and fan content have really like pulled out and expanded upon, and they just feel like so familiar for that. And it's like the prosecutor's office comes up on like so much, obviously, in fan content because that's where Edra hangs out. And it's just like, this is where those frames of references come from. So this case just really like, makes me feel happy. And I love to play it.
I think next week, having gone through the ringer with this first half of this case, like next week we've got a lot less on our plates. And I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to be like, okay, I don't have that much to do. If I get frustrated, like the very first thing I'm going to do is just look up a walkthrough and just get through it. Because bottom line, these moments where I'm getting like stuck and just driving further and further into this brick wall, it's just ruining the experience for me. So I need to just like get over it and get through it and get to the next bit where I get to enjoy myself.
It's so important. It's so important.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate that the game has made me do that though. Like, I genuinely hate that I have never had to look up a walkthrough so far, and then in this case I had to use a walkthrough 3 separate times.
Yeah, it's so fair.
Yeah, the next part is a little bit shorter, and you know, we have had all this set up, so it's kind of, we're at the top of the roller coaster, I think.
It's all downhill from here.
I would love to hear where downhill you think it's going, though.
Yeah, I wanna, bro, I wanna hear from you. What do you think is going on here?
This is gonna be tricky because I was like very sleepy during a lot of my time playing this game. So from what we know so far, we know that everyone who we've spoken to has an involvement with SL9, this serial killer's case. One thing that came up that I found very interesting was this concept of transference that we didn't really talk about, which is the idea that every year or every 2 years, they move files from the prosecutor's offices to the evidence offices at the police station. And that's when they get, like, closed for good, never to be opened again. Which is a really weird thing to say, considering the entire thing with the previous case was the fact that the statute of limitations was 10 years.
It's only for solved cases.
No one was convicted.
It's only for
DL6 was never solved.
It's only for solved cases. But, yeah, so it seems very much like not a repeat of that sort of, you know, unearthing old trauma. It's clear what some people's intentions are, like Marshall wants to get the truth behind what happened to his brother. But the thing that's perplexing me is, like, Lana's whole angle in this. Why does she want to be found guilty? Is it because she feels bad about forging evidence? I don't think so, because she admitted to it very openly in court. If she wants to be found guilty, it's because there's something else going on with that case that we don't know about. It's very obvious that Gant is the one behind a lot of what's going on. He very much seems like the master manipulator type with everything that's happening here. And also because Phoenix Wright games make the villains very obvious when they eventually show up. But, like, to be honest, there aren't really many... I'm not really much for speculation, to be honest. I kind of just, like, enjoy having the thing play out in front of me.
Sure.
So I don't really know where it's going to go. I expect that Goodman had to die for something to do with the case. Maybe they found out that Goodman was actually the serial killer, and Lana wants to be found guilty because it turns out that John Dark was actually innocent, and she feels like she should be punished for that.
But we know that Emma was a witness. I don't think we know that, actually. I played a little bit ahead because I wasn't sure where the day ended. So we know that Emma was a witness. I guess she was young.
Yeah, I think so.
She was young.
Well, it was 2 years ago. She was 14.
She was 14.
Which, you know what? She was young.
She was young. But yeah, it's all tied up in the past once again. So yeah, it's a mystery to me is what it is. But all I know is that Lana clearly had some intent behind killing Goodman, and it might have been because Goodman was going to do something regarding to SL9.
Okay.
Because, okay, let me play this out like how it is in my head. Lana meets up with Goodman to discuss something about the case. Goodman reveals something to Lana that makes her feel like she needs to kill him. Or alternatively finds out that it's not Goodman that has been brought to her, but it's someone else who looks like him. I don't think that part is true. Marshall and Angel are both... I don't think Angel really seems that tied to SL9, to be honest. She's got, like, you know, stuff about it, since it's the thing that lost her job, but she doesn't seem, like, that involved in what's currently going on, aside from being a witness. But then again, that could also be something that was staged to get her to get
she's
Lana to
clearly
get the verdict. It's
still trying to collect evidence.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. You tell me your thing.
I refuse to. I think what we're gonna have to do here is deafen you, Ro, while I share my theory to the
That's not fair.
because I truly think that my theory is gonna ruin it for you.
Why? I don't give a shit about spoilers.
Even if you're 100% correct, Ro will have no way of knowing one way or the other whether
Yeah.
that's true.
I'm so sure that I'm right on at least one part of this.
That's fine. I don't mind.
If you're sure, I'll share it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, here's what I think happened. I think Gant invited Goodman into the evidence room at 4:20, murdered him, and cleared out the room. Then invited Edgeworth in at 4:40 to provide him with the screwdriver, which I think is just useless, just to have him in the location. Then Edgeworth went and got his stupid award. Maybe this happened before, I don't know. I don't know the exact timings on this. While this happened, they moved Goodman to the trunk of Edgeworth's car. Edgeworth then drove his car back to the parking lot. And here's where things get fuzzy, because I don't know if Edgeworth knows about Goodman being in the car. I have sort of two separate theories. One is that he didn't know and Lana came across it. This one, I don't really think is true. I think what happened is that Edgeworth found the body and went to Lana, and her response was, I'm going to protect Edgeworth, and staged a quote-unquote killing in front of the security room. And she did this by stabbing the body and holding her hand in the way so it would be stabbed instead, thereby putting down some blood and then clearing the blood away to make it look like she was like clearing up evidence. So I don't think she did it. I think she is covering.
I have one thing that puts a hole in a bit of that, Adam.
Sure.
In the picture of her after, you know, the picture of her that Angel takes of her when she's got the blood in her coat.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have a wound in her hand.
Then maybe she did it afterwards. It doesn't have to be set in stone. I'm theorizing.
I think the thing that you are dead on about is the Gant killing Goodman in the evidence room and then putting him in Edgeworth's car.
Because I think ultimately there's a lot of talk about mistrust in Edgeworth, and I think this whole thing was to be pinned on Edgeworth.
I think you're right, but like I don't know why, but the whole framing Edgeworth angle of this whole thing, it definitely seems like it's a thing, but it also seems like it's really lazily done, you know? Like that, it's basically like they're just throwing evidence at him.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're Gant and you're like, okay, I'm trying to clean up people that were involved in SL9. I've killed Goodman, trying to pin on Edgeworth. Uh-oh, Lana's here. She's taken the fall. Well, maybe this isn't such a bad thing after all.
Why not?
Because she was also involved.
Where does the jar come into this?
I mean, that's evidence.
jar come
That's
into
evidence from SL9. Which I'm sure we'll get to. I don't know how important SL9 is to this case, other than the fact that it's the motive.
There's got to be more for SL9, because we've got like 3 pieces of evidence specifically from SL9 that have not been relevant so far at all.
Right, yeah, we're going to cover it, but I think the core is that SL9 is the motive. But I don't know any details on SL9. I simply think that it's the motive.
SL9 is the name of a demon that they sealed away in that jar.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. And it broke out. They did a bad job sealing it because it had a hole in the top and a hole in the bottom.
But, I mean, most of my speculation is just the details of the murder itself, rather than, like, I don't have any details on SL9, other than the fact that it existed and we have some evidence. Like, I'm sure it's the motive, but other than that, I have nothing to say about it.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. I'm sure some details are wrong, because I don't have a lot of details. But I think the thing about the moving the body, for sure, I feel pretty good about.
Here's the other thing about you telling me a theory that could potentially be spoilers, Adam, is I am 100% going to forget about it by the time we Netflix this video.
I mean, it's weird, right? Because the timing is so weird in that Edgeworth turned up at 5:12, and the body was supposedly we saw this incident at quarter past. So whatever
It's very
happened
strange.
is so fast.
Because, like, if you're right and Lana somehow finds the body in the trunk of Edgeworth's car, like, what the fuck was she doing looking in Edgeworth's car?
Right. That's why I think Edgeworth is involved more than he's letting on.
I don't know that he is, because he's being, like, really... Like, he's presenting a level of confidence in court that I don't think we see... Because I feel like we'd see him crack a little bit more when we...
I also think there's, but don't you
managed to
think
find
he's also being
contradictions.
weirdly blasé about a body being found in his car? It's
I
stabbed
think
with
that's
his
just
knife.
Edgeworth, to be honest. I honestly think after what he's been through, to be honest, that's just Edgeworth.
We'll see. I think from a writing perspective, it's a good thing to be like, Edgeworth is really scared in this scenario,
I
and
think
it's just
Edgeworth
putting
is
on a
really
brave
scared
face.
of Gant.
But maybe that's not how it is. I
We'll have
truly
to
am not
see.
going to find out until next time I play. But that's what I think. Any thoughts from the peanut gallery?
Not allowed to have thoughts right now.
Yeah.
You said there was something I didn't mention here, and I'm really curious. But you're probably just gonna have to write that one down.
Jay, Devin, how about what emotion are you feeling right now?
Other than, like, I've just run a marathon, I'm feeling... Great question.
Huh.
I'm feeling pretty good about the fact that we are almost done with the first game of Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel very accomplished after the next episode.
Yeah. I am feeling like we have experienced a microcosm of everything that we are going to experience in the following 10 games. And I mean that /pause and /neck.
Oh, man. 10 games. Jesus Christ, what have I gotten myself into?
You are not technically obliged to. You can leave at any time.
I
The
can't.
door is
I'm
open.
in it now.
I have to say it because I will not be held emotionally responsible for playing another 8.7 hours of a game and getting really annoyed at it.
One of these days, I'm gonna turn up to an episode of this podcast, just like haggard and beaten. I'm just gonna say, Jay, you did this to me.
That's what I
You
have
made
nightmares
this
about.
happen.
I have a question actually. Is this more indicative of like how long cases are going forward, or is this more of an out?
I'm having a lot of issues about what we're gonna do moving forward, and I don't know what to do
Oh boy.
about them. I looked up Ace Attorney 2 today. The first case is like 1.5 hours because it's a
Right,
tutorial.
Yeah.
The second case is about as long as what we have played in this case,
Okay.
so it would be another really long one, right?
But like really long, but one sitting.
But one sitting. And I don't think splitting the cases is doing us any favors, but also I cannot come to you and say, hey, play twice as much as you played today, right?
You cannot.
Ace Attorney 2, it's not too bad, but games get longer as time
Yeah.
goes on.
Weird how
in
nature makes
the
it.
world.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm turning it over in my brain often.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we're gonna just get better at playing them. Not necessarily in a playing them faster way, but managing our time better.
I just need more time.
I know. This is the problem.
God, there are only so many hours in the day, right?
That's what they tell me.
Yeah.
We got a little bit before it's gonna be a big problem, I think.
Yeah. I'm so glad I don't have to rate this right now because I'm like a tumultuous storm of warring opinions inside my head.
What if you turn up like next week and you're like in the greatest mood ever? You're feeling
It's
smooth
possible.
and slick, and you like
Smooth?
you just like glide through the case.
Why am I like a snake?
What if you turn up next week and you're like, Jay, I'm not doing this anymore?
These are the only two outcomes.
This is too traumatizing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I need to put it in perspective. There are people who have a podcast where they watch the same movie every day for a month, and they make that a podcast. I can't let these lawyer boys get the better of me.
Someone put that in writing. Email it to me.
If this shut up. If this results in me just playing the games with the walkthrough open, fucking fine, whatever. Like if that's what I need to do to cope.
It is fine. It is genuinely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching actual plays also an option.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
so
I never
true.
even thought of that. I can watch actual plays on 2.5 times speed.
The thing
Yeah.
that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I feel like I could cry.
Alright. Well, I think we've just solved a lot of our problems, maybe.
I'm gonna play the original trilogy, but after that, the other video games, I don't know how accessible they are on PC.
Oh, they're on PC, but that is where the getting extremely long problem comes in.
Yes.
So I would highly encourage going right ahead.
Well, we'll see how I feel by the time we get to the end of
Yeah.
the third game.
This is something that's gonna happen in late 2025.
Yeah.
So we're good.
We're good.
We got some time to
Don't-
figure that one out.
Don't be scared. The future is coming.
That's why I'm scared.
Well, does anyone have anything to promote or whatever?
Do we all hate doing this?
Yeah,
Because I do.
so much.
The thing is, like, I don't have a career that's online.
Oh my god!
I do, and I hate doing this.
Jay, I honestly thought you just meant the podcast.
That would be really funny.
I laughed so
No,
much.
I really enjoy doing
Me
this,
too.
but I have to hold in my heart the possibility that one day you will
Oh my
really
God.
hate doing this.
Oh man. Look, think about it like this. This is the first time so far that I have not had a 100% good time playing these video games.
Okay, that's good.
What if you never recapture that again?
Stop it! Your childhood innocence gone.
You've reached a roller coaster, you started on ground level, you went up, you hit the peak, and now it descends into hell. It descends into the Earth's core.
Whoa.
This is not a fun joke to me. This is a very scary joke to me.
Sorry, sometimes I like being a little scary.
This is a joke about which I know too many things.
Yeah, and you've
about it
relayed
like
some of
this.
those things to me, and I'm using those for
Think
evil.
about it like this. Do all the Ace Attorney games get worse from this point onwards?
No.
Oh my god, that was an
Not yet.
uncomfortably long silence. Oh, now I am scared.
Oh god.
No.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I promise you, if we only had bad things ahead of us, I would never have asked anybody
Oh
to
my
do this.
God.
Yeah, it's true.
How,
It's true. It's true.
how about when
It's
it
just funny.
How about when it gets really, really bad? When it gets so bad you can feel the like tether thinning out. That's when we invoke Danganronpa.
Oh my
You're-
god.
Ro, I'm gonna say this out loud. I don't think you're gonna enjoy Danganronpa.
Also, I do think that Danganronpa is worse than the best Ace Attorney game. Sorry, worse than the worst Ace Attorney game. I don't know if that's true. That might be mean.
Adam, how
We'll find
about
out.
the Danganronpa clause? is something we enact, and it's just one episode of Danganronpa, not the whole game, on the prospect that we revisit Danganronpa at some point in the future. But for now, it's just a palate cleanser.
No, I refuse this. I'm sorry. Because Danganronpa is directly built on the back of Ace Attorney. And I think that's going to be really interesting to investigate.
I agree.
We are talking about things that are going to happen in the 2030s.
Also, side note
Jesus
about the rest
Christ.
of the show. I'm really excited to play Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney, so I'm in this for the long haul.
We are talking about things that are going to happen in the 2030s.
God, please don't tell me
Can't
about things that
wait
can happen
for
in
the Ghost
6
Trick
years' time.
season.
That gives me so much dread.
Ghost Trick!
Oh god.
Ghost Trick slaps, and we're
No,
open
I'm
to
so ready for Ghost
possibility.
Trick. I have that game. I'm ready to play Ghost Trick.
Diego and I played Ghost Trick just by the coincidence that it came out when we had taken a hiatus, and we were like, and I reviewed it for Polygon, so I was like, I just played this. Do you want to talk about it on a podcast? So we could do that again.
Fuck yes.
Anyway, no, I don't want to fucking promote anything. It sucks. I hate having an internet career.
We live inside of a bubble here. Nothing
Look
we
on
ever
the
do.
front page of Polygon.com, and I might be on there.
Alright, yeah.
Look on the front page of
Check
Spotify.
out
and we might be on there,
check out
baby.
Unwinnable.
It's true. Check out Unwinnable. I'm on there every month.
There we go.
You can subscribe, and then you will always know what I'm writing about, at least once a month. Well, no, actually, exactly once a month.
Check out the
And
gentle
sometimes I miss
sound
them.
of a babbling brook or the whisper of the wind through the leaves in the trees. and you
That's
might
my
find it.
bit.
Yeah, fuck you, buddy.
I gotta figure out a new bit for game 2.